Let's hope this race is a little bit more entertaining. Let's hope that it is. I'm hoping, but we'll have to see. So, yeah. Yeah, the most. Yeah, did y'all hear like how many times they were saying of like fucking finish it like Jesus like come on like that's not how you sing the national anthem. You do it in one word each. You don't repeat it like three times like you're trying to do a remix song like bruh. Righty, let's see here. What are we looking like here? Probably won't have much people joining the day either, since it's a truck race, but still, it's something. Okay, it's something. Be grateful. Hey, look, it's Michael Waltrip. Alrighty. See what we got going on here. Got some good old truck racing going on today. I wonder if NASCAR even has MRN radio for the truck race. Do you guys think they'll have any radio for the truck race or no? Or do they not have any? Because I'm kind of curious. Let me see if there is, and I'll have to check here. Live scanner audio. Okay. Alrighty. Go to the trucks. Anything? Anything for trucks? Anything at all? I mean, is there? Is there not? There's MRN. Hold up. Okay. Hold on. Let me go to.
Back at the Milwaukee Mile, we're getting set for the start of the Clean Harbors 175. We're just a couple of moments away from the command. You know, Kurt, 12 out of the 15 former Truck Series Milwaukee winners
Hey, we
were
do
over
have
the
radio.
age of 30. The last time a truck driver in their 20s won here at the Milwaukee Mile was Brendan Gaughan at age 27. Now, I don't ever remember Brendan Gaughan being in his 20s, but apparently he was back in 2003. We love you, Brendan.
Indeed, Brendan Gaughan racked up a number of memorable wins during his time in this NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. And while he has since moved on to other things, and of course...
All right. I have it on here, which should be a little bit better, hopefully.
Drivers ready to fire their engines down trackside to get ready to go in the Clean Harbors 175. Let's get the command right now.
On behalf of Clean Harbors and the return of NASCAR to the Milwaukee Mile to deliver the most famous words in racing, Grand Marshal of today's Clean Harbors 175, five-time Olympic gold medal speed skating champion, Bonnie Blair.
Some technical issues with Bonnie Blair's microphone down trackside as
Bruh.
she gets ready to give the command. And right now,
Okay,
She sounds so annoying.
Better late than never and worth the wait. Former Olympian Bonnie Blair gives the command as the motors fire on pit road here at the Milwaukee Mile.
Things are heating up this summer for the entire Toyota racing team. Whether it's the 160-degree heat inside Bubba Wallace's number 23 car, or the 300-plus degree heat blasting off Parker Johnson's barbecue grill as he cheers by his Tundra in the Speedway parking lot.
Yeah, I really shouldn't have worn this spicy.
To accomplish greater things this year, everyone plays a part. Be part of the action at Toyota.com/racing. Toyota, let's go places. NASCAR is a registered trademark of National Association for Stock Car Auto Racing, Inc.
MRN Classic Races.
Ricky Rudd wins for Budweiser at McGuinn.
Covering over 50 years of NASCAR racing on the Motor Racing Network.
Junior to the bottom. Dale Earnhardt Jr. ducks low on Stewart. They bang him in 3. Earnhardt is there. They bang again in 4.
Jeff Ride is going to lead the first lap with the Busch 500.
Dale Earnhardt is going to win the Daytona 500 in his 20th try.
Trying to maintain that lead as he moves off turn 2.
MRN Classic Races available on your favorite podcast platform.
Lineup is coming up next from the Milwaukee Mile. This is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
Wherever you cheer, whatever you drive, you'll find Racing Electronics. With Racing Electronics, you'll hear uncensored communication from every team in the race and the broadcast with all your favorite MRN announcers. Hear every heart-pounding pass, pit strategy, and so much more with a scanner and headphone rental. Upgrade to an Easy Talk intercom system to comfortably communicate over the noise of the race. To learn more, visit RacingElectronics.com. Be race ready. Be RE equipped.
It all builds up to this at Darlington Raceway.
If you're going to kick off the playoffs, why not do it big?
Green flag is up.
Like Labor Day weekend big.
That's how you make it move. And a crowd goes through it.
Like Southern 500 big. The only thing bigger than the action will be the experience of seeing it live.
Right.
NASCAR Playoffs Weekend at Darlington Raceway, September 2nd and 3rd. Get your tickets today at darlingtonraceway.com. Discover South Carolina.
Now, here's the starting lineup.
36 drivers qualified for the running of the Clean Harbors 175. Here's how they will roll off at the drop of the green flag. Greg Van Ault will start 36. 35th, you'll find Josh Reaume. Brad Perez will roll off in the 34th position. And 33rd, it'll be Derek Lemke. Tyler Hill will start from 32nd. 31st will be Josh Bilicki.
Starting in 30th position, that's where we find Spencer Boyd. 29th starter, rookie driver Brett Holmes. 28th, that's where Connor Jones will begin, with Sean Hangarani starting at 27th. Matt Mills he qualified in the 26th position, but he will have to drop to the rear of the field for unapproved adjustments to the truck. Derek Kraus, he's from Wisconsin, making his second start of the year in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. He will start 25th. Colby Howard goes 24th. Matt Benedetto he qualified at 23rd. He's a playoff driver. He has to drop to the rear of the field for missing the driver's meeting. The 22nd starter, playoff driver Matt Crafton, Stuart Friesen starts 21st.
Lawless Allen will roll off from the 20th position. 19th, it'll be Dean Thompson. Zane Smith will start from the 18th spot. And 17th is Haley Deegan. Tyler Ankrum qualified 16th. Rajah Caruth will start from the 15th spot. 14th, you'll find Bailey Curry. Ty Majeski will roll off from the 13th position. After the race starts, he has to serve a drive-through penalty. William Sawalich qualified 12th. He just finished the ARCA race. In fact, he won the ARCA race just about 45 minutes ago. Tanner Gray will start 11th.
Playoff driver Ben Rhodes starting from 10th as we take a look at the top 10 now with rookie Jake Garcia starting 9th. Corey Heim, the regular season champion, starts 8th. Chase Purdy rolls from 7th. Christian Eckes is in the playoffs. He starts from 6th. Rookie driver Daniel Dye starting 5th. Another rookie starts 4th, Taylor Gray. Carson Hocevar, a playoff contender, starting from 3rd.
All right, guys, I will be right back. Give me a few minutes. If you enjoy this kind of content, make sure and hit that subscribe button. I'll be right back.
Who won a couple of times during the regular season. He starts from the pole today. His layout 122.848 miles per hour.
Let's take a quick lap around this 1 mile layout. The Milwaukee Mile, about 40 to 45 feet wide. Up the front straightaway, they'll reach speeds in the neighborhood of 160 miles an hour. Banked at only 9 degrees in the turns. It's not much to catch you here at the Milwaukee Mile. Now, some drivers say there's grip everywhere. Other drivers say that low line is too slick. We'll see how it all plays out. It all depends on how your truck is handling, but there are at least two and a half lanes to choose from as these drivers battle it out in the turns. Once they come off of turn 2 and down the back straightaway, they'll come into the view of our own Kyle Rickey from Killenly, Connecticut.
All right, thank you very much, Danny, and good afternoon, everybody. From the backside of this 1 mile oval off of turn 2, the trucks will spill onto the 1,265-foot back straightaway. A great place to set up for a pass into turn number 3. Now, you'll need a good drive off of turn number 2 to set up for that pass. That'll be key. Turns 3 and 4, much like turns 1 and 2, a long sweeping corner with just 9 degrees of banking. That second lane off the bottom seems to be the preferred line due to the lowest lane having some of that newer pavement, but not a whole lot of grip, according to the drivers that we talked to in the garage this morning. It's a perfect day to go racing here in Milwaukee. We'll have it all covered through turns 3 and 4 here today at the Milwaukee Mile.
All right, thank you, Kyle. Want to mention the fact that if you're a fan of driver Dexter Bean, he did take time in qualifying here today, but he did not make the starting lineup. He's a Wisconsin native. There are still 3 Wisconsin natives who are in this lineup here today: Josh Balicki, Derek Kraus, Ty Majeski. Let's check the developing stories that we expect to follow throughout the race down on the pit lane. We start at the turn 1 end. Chris Wilner.
Well, Kurt, our stages are 55 laps, 55 laps, and 65 laps to get to lap 175. But for Ty Majeski, that won't matter. They're going to have to pull out all the stops today. Coming from the rear of the field, the big story coming into this afternoon was the massive pre-race technical inspection penalty. They confiscated one of the right rear tires from Ty's car, so he will be without one of those sets of right rear tires for the remainder of the race. But even bigger, crew chief Joe Shear Jr. was ejected from the property. Also, he will have to do a drive-through. Now, we talked to him pre-race. He said they're going to have to be pretty creative with strategy, but I also talked to him about, can you drive from the back at your home racetrack where you picked up a super late model win back in June? He said, I think so, but we're going to need help. So the race fans here are going to have a guy to root for coming from the back, and that's Ty Majeski's going to try to put on a show and go 2 for 2 in the opening round of the playoffs. Tim Califano, what are you checking in on your end of things?
Well, I'm going to be keeping my eye on Matt Crafton this afternoon. He'll roll off from the 22nd starting position. The 47-year-old driver for Thor Sport Racing enters 2 points below that cut line. Now, Crafton is the only playoff driver with truck experience here in the field. He's got 9 prior starts at Milwaukee. His best finish was second back in 2008. This is also the track that Thor Sport made their first Truck Series organizational start back in 1996 when Terry Cook drove to a 12th place finish. Matt Crafton, he needs a win today. He's currently below that cut line. We'll see if he can put his truck in Ruoff Mortgage victory lane this afternoon.
All right, thank you, Tim Califano. Great crowd on hand here this afternoon at the Milwaukee Mile, and they have all come to their feet as the light bar goes off on the pace truck coming off of turn 4. We are getting set for the start of the Clean Harbors 175, and here to bring you the start from Altamont, Illinois, MRN's Kurt Becker.
Here they come down to the line. The green flag is in the air. Brent Enfinger, the pole sitter, gets a tremendous jump to turn 1.
And the outside lane for Grant Enfinger is able to pull away, but here comes Sanchez back to the bottom. Then it's Carson Hocevar, next truck in line to the inside with Taylor Gray to the outside. Everybody safely off of turn 2, up the back straightaway for the first time, chasing Grant Enfinger into the 3rd turn as the race leader.
Taylor Gray had a great start, in fact, challenging Nick Sanchez for that second position around the outside of turns 3 and 4. Sanchez clears him and now starts challenging the leader, Grant Enfinger. They are side by side into turns 1 and 2. It'll be Sanchez to the inside. Grant Enfinger working that outside groove.
Side by side for the race lead off of turn 2 and up the back straightaway. Grant Enfinger with the run in the outside. He'll maintain the top spot for now by only a truck length over Sanchez in second. Gray right there in third. A 3-way battle for that position with the battle for 4th looking on off of turn 4 to Christian Eckes.
As they work their way back across start finish, Ty Majeski has just served the pass penalty that we had mentioned at the top of the broadcast. He's already working his way. He's come off the pit lane. He served the penalty. He's heading into turn 3 as the leaders head off turn 2.
Nick Sanchez not giving up on the inside lane on the battle for the lead with Grant Enfinger, who is just so much stronger to the outside of the racetrack. That's where that cripple. Enfinger continues to lead now by a truck length over Sanchez, who gets another run to the bottom.
Enfinger has the lead, but he's got a lot of unwanted company. To his left elbow now is Nick Sanchez. Taylor Gray looking on. Christian Eckes in hot pursuit. Into turns 1 and 2 they go. Again side by side, although Enfinger has a little bit of an advantage coming off the corner.
Top 3 trucks looking to pull away from the rest of the field. Gray in third and watching a great battle for the lead just in front of him. Nick Sanchez had a look to the inside of Enfinger. He'll tuck back in the line in second. In fact, he's going to find some pressure for Gray for the runner-up spot.
Opening laps of the Clean Harbors 175 for the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. Good to have you with us here on the Motor Racing Network for a playoff race, the second race in the round of 10. Grant?
Yeah, no problem, Leroy. Haley Deegan, I'm pretty sure she's in the top 20, 25, I'm pretty sure. But, guys, thank you so much for stopping by. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. That way you don't miss out on these streams. I do them every single weekend. Don't believe me? There's proof. Check out my channel.
Room as he brings the field off of turn 4 and up the front straightaway. All by himself is Nick Sanchez. Taylor Gray also riding by himself. And Christian Eckes now in that 4th position. Carson Hocevar rounds out the top 5. Scott Ricky, the field gets strung out just a little bit off turn 2.
Already about halfway around this 1 mile oval from the race leader Grant Enfinger to the tail end of the field. Leader already into turn number 3. Enfinger driving away just a bit by about 5 truck lengths over Nick Sanchez in second. Here comes the Christian Eckes truck, really closing in on Gray for third. 5th position, lost a little bit of ground off of turn number 2 to Christian Eckes, who in turn is trying to reel in Taylor Gray for third as they race through the second groove at turns 3 and 4.
Eckes able to take a little bit lower line than 3rd place man Taylor Gray, but when they hit that straightaway, Gray able to keep Eckes at bay. In fact, Christian Eckes pulling away now from Carson Hocevar, who rides in that 5th position.
Unchallenged in fifth for now for Carson Hocevar. No real challenge from behind. It's a couple of truck lengths back to Corey Hine, who runs in 6th, then Chase Purdy in 7th, then Rhodes in 8th. Rhodes fell back on the initial lap and now falls into the clutches of Williams Walich, who runs out the front half of this top 10.
So Walich trying to get some experience in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series following a win earlier today in the ARCA Menard Series here at Milwaukee. This time by, no one steps out of line, although we've been keeping an eye on Tanner Gray. Now, he's in the 11th position. He's getting restless over in turn 2, thinking about a challenge, trying to chase after Jake Garcia.
Jake Garcia hangs on to that position off of turn number 2. Tanner Gray had a beat to the inside, entering turn number 1 a half lap ago, but here in turn number 3, stays in line within 1 truck length in a battle just outside of the top 10.
Closer to the front, Carson Hocevar starting to lose a little patience with Christian Eckes. Really able to get to the tailgate of Eckes through the corners. Here he goes. Carson Hocevar looking to the inside of Eckes, side by side for that 5th position.
It's a good run off of turn number 2, but is the grip there for Carson Hocevar? It is not. He's going to have to give that position back to Christian Eckes, who in the 2nd lane off the bottom, and where the drivers say the grip is, maintains that 4th position for now.
Carson Hocevar, therefore, will have to stay in that 5th position right behind Christian Eckes, as caution now has been unfurled for a problem over in turn number 2. One truck is off the pace.
Josh Balicki, Kurt, off of turn number 2. Solo truck incident off the corner, gets the truck fired back up, does have some damage, and will have to head to the pit lane.
Balicki, one of the 3 drivers we talked about, who hails from the state of Wisconsin, who's in the lineup here today at Milwaukee. The difficulty early for Josh Balicki. In the meantime, under the caution, Grant Enfinger, the leader.
The roar of our engines, the pump of our heartbeats, the pedal to our metal, the sparks that ignite us, the pistons that push us, the passions that drive us. From the feelings that move us to the places that pull us on the roads that unite us. With nearly 6,000 stores and over 17,000 auto care centers, Napa has America's largest network of parts and care, here to keep you fired on all cylinders.
Looking for motorsports coverage you can't find anywhere else? Look no further than the Motor Racing Network's lineup of weekly podcasts. NASCAR news and interviews on NASCAR Live and NASCAR Live Wide Open.
NASCAR Cup Series Insight on Crew Call. NASCAR Grassroots Racing News and Talk on NASCAR Coast to Coast. And Sprint Car Talk on Wing Nation. All these and more available on podcast platforms and MRN.com.
Field working its way off the end of the backstretch behind the pace truck under the caution flag for the first time here today. Just 11 laps into the Clean Harbors 175 for the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. Field works its way off of turn number 4. Pit road will be open this time by. So the field circulates off corner number 4. And so far, everybody in the top 5, the top 10, the top 15, all remaining on the racetrack. From the Milwaukee Mile, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
The year was 1993. The NASCAR Cup Series season kicked off with the Dale and Dale show at the Daytona 500.
Dale Jarrett's got the lead. He goes to the inside. Earnhardt's not going to get it. Dale Jarrett is going to win the Daytona 500 by SDP. Earnhardt second.
The 1993 NASCAR Cup Series season. All the highs and lows. Relive them all on MRN's exclusive podcast, The 1993 Season. Available on podcast platforms and MRN.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle Penn. You may know that Dick and Junction provides fun, adaptive, and life-changing experiences for kids with all levels of abilities, serious illnesses, and chronic medical conditions. But did you know that camp is free for the children and families we serve? Your support helps every camper build a foundation to live their best life. Make your gift today at victoryjunction.org/donate and feel your heart race.
Back with you in West Dallas, Wisconsin, under the caution flag here in the opening stage of the Clean Harbors 175. An incident involving Josh Bilicki, who got loose over in turn number 2 and has since brought his truck to the attention of his pit crew down on the pit lane. Right before we went to the break, we told you that practically no one else in the top, no one in the top 10, top 15 came down pit road. Most everyone, in fact, all the way back through the top 20, choosing to stay on the racetrack. That said, a couple of drivers did come down pit road. One of them, Ty Majeski, made a stop a moment ago in front of Tim Cat family.
Well, Kurt, he came down pit road. Ty Majeski did. It was just a fuel-only stop for that Ford F-150, and also a chassis adjustment for Ty, who again is trying to recover from not only having to start in the rear, but having to serve that pass-through penalty at the beginning of the race. So it was a fuel-only stop and a chassis adjustment for Ty Majeski.
Chris Wilner, Connor Jones made a stop in front of you.
He did 4-tire change on that Ford F-150 as well as Sunoco fuel. Thought he may have had a flat going down as well. Made a slight air pressure adjustment. But a lot of conversation on the radio, even though we've only ran a handful of laps, is already the handling of these race trucks starting to go away as the sun continues to beat down on this racetrack. A lot of free trucks right now. So a lot of strategy in terms of what adjustments to make already being discussed. We pinpointed going into this race maybe lap 55 and a lap 110 pit stop to make it a 2-stop race, but certainly if trucks are ill handling, then they have to change the game a little bit. We'll wait and see.
So those the stories down on pit road. Dan, opening stage and just the opening, 14 laps so far is all we've run to this point.
That's right, and Grant Enfinger showed some pretty good speed, but so has Nick Sanchez and Taylor Gray. I look for them to pick up where they left off once we go back to green flag racing. This caution was a big break for Ty Majeski. We've documented it a couple of times. He had to serve a pass-through penalty after the drop of the green flag. He did not go a lap down, but he was a full half lap, or half track, if you get what I mean, to the tail end of the lead lap.
Sure.
He was way off the pace. Caution comes out. Now he gets to catch the rest of the field, and they just made an adjustment now on pit road. I look for Ty Majeski to pretty much burn it up here in the next 10 to 15 laps just to get back to the top 10.
Following his progress will indeed be one of our objectives here on the Motor Racing Network as Ty gets ready and lines up back near the back of the field. He will restart back in the 32nd position after making that stop on pit road. But Dan's point is a good one because even though he had, after the pass-through at the start of the race, after he had come down the pit lane, returned to the racetrack, yeah, Dan's right. He was maybe a half lap in front of the race leaders, and Grant Enfinger was getting around the track so good in those opening laps. He's just got to give Majeski a chance now to relax, catch his breath, and know he doesn't have to worry about the leader breathing down his tailpipe as we get ready to go back under the green flag. Grant Enfinger does lead. Nick Sanchez is second. Taylor Gray is third. Christian Eckes is fourth. Carson Hocevar rides in fifth. Corey Heim is sixth. Chase Purdy is seventh. Ben Rhodes is eighth. William Sawalich making his fifth career start in this NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series.
Again, guys, if you haven't already, make sure and hit that subscribe button. That way you don't miss out on these kind of streams. I do these every single weekend just about when I get the chance. So, again, guys, if you don't want to miss out on these, I'd hit that button.
7,000, I think that's what
I mean, guys, I'm doing y'all a favor. I mean, look.
Stretch grandstands are absolutely full, and this crowd kept me from getting a hot dog between the ARCA race here. Just the lines there at the concession stands were just outstanding. So it's a great day for racing here at the Milwaukee Mile.
Kyle Rickey covering the action for us out in the corners as we now get the signal one more lap. We'll go back under the green flag. Kyle, I know that when you ascended to your turn position earlier today, before the start of the ARCA Menard Series event, you looked over your shoulder and you said, a lot of people are lining up coming through the gate.
Yeah, a lot of people in the parking lot back here. They are parked all the way around this 1 mile oval. The fairgrounds here at the Milwaukee Mile, and like you mentioned, in between the ARCA Menard Series race and this NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series event, lines were plenty on the midway behind the main grandstands and then all the places around the racetrack to get some food and some beverage before the start of this event. Great crowd, a great looking crowd here on the front stretch. All set to come to their feet for the restart here in less than a half lap.
All right, thank you, Kyle. The choose rule is in effect here this afternoon at the Milwaukee Mile.
And again, everyone in here, thank you so much for stopping by. It means a lot. And, I mean, look, if you don't want to miss out on these races, hit that subscribe button. That's all you got to do. It's self-explanatory. You subscribe, you get this shit in return.
He must be comfortable on that outside groove. By the way,
Pretty self-explanatory.
Very, very good in the early running as well. The field is making way to the Geico Restart Zone presented by Geico. Switch to Geico today and see all the ways you can save. It's easy. Simply go to geico.com to get a rate quote and get started seeing how much you can save.
Green flag is in the air. We're back underway in the Clean Harbors 175. Grant Enfinger from the outside, Nick Sanchez along the inside lane, and Taylor Gray trying to close in on the backstretch.
And Sanchez stayed with Grant Enfinger to the inside of the racetrack until the exit of turn number 2, and then Enfinger had just so much better grip in that outside lane, was able to take the top spot away. Here's Sanchez and Gray side by side for the second spot.
Taylor Gray trying to get done the hard way around the outside of Nick Sanchez. Cannot get the job done. Sanchez slots into that second spot. Taylor Gray in third. Then it's ways back to Carson Hocevar in that fourth position. They were side by side for fifth just for a moment. That's Corey Heim and Christian Eckes off of turn 2.
Corey Heim thinks I'm in that position. Christian Eckes is there, beating to the inside, as is Chase Purdy, making a three-way battle for position number 5 into turn number 3. The top 4 looking to break away just a bit. 3 wide deeper in the field. Matt Crafton coming to life mid-pack. He's going to pick up a couple of spots here in turn 3.
Crafton trying to work his way up from 12th to try to break his way into the top 10 for the first time here this afternoon. Jake Garcia.
Struggles continuing here this afternoon as now Garcia's going to slip up just a bit to the exit of turn number 2 and will lose that position back to Ben Rhodes, battling just into the top 10 and just in front of a fast closing Matt Crafton.
Got a lot of smaller battles going on within the big battle. 2 trucks versus the other 2 trucks. Right now it is Grant Enfinger and Nick Sanchez going at it. Taylor Gray and Carson Hocevar, they're going at it for the 3rd spot. Then from 5th on back, it gets just a bit stacked. As we will find Corey Heim, Chase Purdy, and Christian Eckes.
Chase Purdy to the inside of Christian Eckes for position number 6, just behind Corey Heim, and just in front of William Sawalich. 4 trucks racing underneath a blanket into turn number 3 from 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th. That battling just in front of Ben Rhodes.
Here they come off the corner. You've got Corey Heim in 5th, Christian Eckes in 6th. Then Chase Purdy 7th, William Jake. Ben Rhodes is 9th. And now it's side by side for 10th. Tanner Gray pops out of line, moves to the inside of Jake Garcia, headed off turn 2.
Garcia in the outside lane. Then you have Gray to the inside, off of turn 2 and up the back straightaway. Drag race is on. The momentum is with Garcia topside. but here comes Gray back to the bottom, and closing in is Matt Crafton. But right now, nowhere to go as they're side by side in front of him.
Tip the count to William Sawalich, currently riding in that 8th position, almost collected Chase Purdy in 7. Sawalich, the winner of the ARCA Menards race earlier here today at the Milwaukee Mile, showing some pretty good speed from that 8th position.
Chase Purdy hangs on to that position just in front of William Sawalich and ahead of former champion Ben Rhodes. Rhodes looking to close in, was able to pull away from Garcia a couple laps ago and close in on Sawalich for 8th.
A reminder, lap number 55 will mark the conclusion of the opening stage of the race. The field comes across the line and puts lap number 23 on the board. No change within the top 5. And really within the top 10, everybody just to stabilize for the moment and works their way back off of turn 2 and heads up the back straightaway. Grant Enfinger, who qualified on the pole, he has led all 23 laps thus far here today, and he continues to show the way headed back off corner number 4. Everyone else for now just riding nose to tailgate throughout the rest of the top 20.
Keeping an eye on Ty Majeski. You'll recall that he had to serve a pass-through penalty right at the beginning of this race. He has been up 12 spots since that restart. Right now getting past Daniel Dye and Stuart Friesen. So that means Ty Majeski now rides in that 18th position. As he negotiates turns 1 and 2, he's looking for more.
Moved around Haley Deegan a lap ago and now closes in on Rajat Karut. The next truck in front of him off of turn number 2, and that may not last long. Already looks to the inside into turn number 3. By the time they get to the corner, Karut will lift off the gas and allow Ty Majeski the spot in the room on the bottom.
That will move Majeski up into the 17th position now. In fact, he continues to climb the leaderboard, looking for more. He's closing in behind the truck of Bailey Curry. So you've got Bailey Curry in the 16th position, and Ty Majeski trying to pass. Takes the peak off turn 2.
Has already made his way through half of the field since the restart, and he's looking for more. And will gain another spot here, maybe in turn number 3 on Bailey Curry. He'll go to the outside this time, talking about Curry. Ty Majeski goes to the bottom, makes it look easy, and makes the pass off turn 4.
Ty Majeski, the Wisconsin native, making great progress here in today's running of the Clean Harbors 175.
Will they find a home? Sponsored by Geico. Sarah wants a yard, like a little paradise. Brad, however, hates yard work.
The only thing I hate more than cutting the grass is paying someone to cut the grass.
Compromise is tough, but these two won't have to compromise when they bundle home and car insurance with Geico. It's easy, and they can save even more. In the end, Sarah and Brad found a great home with a yard. A very, very small yard.
Time to get it done. And I'm done.
Bundling without compromise at Geico.com.
There's a buzz in the air in Kansas. Maybe it's the roar of fans here at the track, or the anticipation of the playoffs as drivers fight to move on to the next round and keep their championship hopes alive. Maybe it's the pulse of the heart monitor, the thrill of speeding, or the sounds of grills sizzling in the campgrounds. Whatever it is, it will be one memorable weekend. NASCAR Playoffs Weekend at Kansas Speedway, September 8th through the 10th. Get your tickets today at kansasspeedway.com.
Grant Enfinger continues to lead. Nick Sanchez is in the 2nd spot. Taylor Gray, Carson Hocevar, and Corey Heim round out our top 5. From the Milwaukee Mile, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
Wing Nation TV, presented by Sage Fruit, is your go-to destination for all the latest sprint car news and interviews with the stars of sprint car racing from around the country. This is Steve Post. Join Ashley Strummy and me each Friday at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time on MAV TV. In Canada, check us out Wednesdays at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time on Rev TV. Ashley and I talk with all the biggest names in sprint car racing every week. If you love sprint cars, make sure you join Wing Nation TV.
MRN Classic Races.
The race to the Daytona 500 victory at the stripe. Kevin Harvick gets it by inches.
Covering over 50 years of NASCAR racing on the Motor Racing Network.
World 600, Richard Petty, career win number 170. This is going to be close. They lead on one another. Ricky Craven gets the win, and they continue the crash headed up into turn 1. Craven pounds the wall. Kurt Busch right back at him.
MRN Classic Races available on your favorite podcast platform.
Welcome back to the Motor Racing Network's coverage of the Clean Harbors 175, coming to you live from the Milwaukee Mile. We have completed 31 laps, and Grant Enfinger continues to lead. We were covering the progress of Ty Majeski, who had to serve a pass-through penalty at the very beginning of today's race. He has now worked his way up to the 14th spot. One driver not so lucky is Matt DiBenedetto. He had to start from the rear, but there's more to the story, Chris Wilner.
There is, and I checked in with crew chief Chad Kendrick, and I said, so why did Matt have to go to the back? He said, unfortunately, Matt was just at the wrong place for driver introductions. NASCAR originally had sent out a memo to the team saying they were going to do driver intros at the trucks. That was handed off to Matty D's PR representative, but unfortunately, there was a change in the schedule, and they did not get that message. So Chad Kendrick was adamant with NASCAR officials saying, please, that's the only information we got. Please don't penalize us, but NASCAR stuck with it and said that driver was not at driver intros in Victory Lane. Instead, Matt was standing at the truck when his name was called, so that is the reason why he had to go to the rear and make, unfortunately, their day that much tougher. Again, a driver who's already now below the cut line coming into this event, having to drive through the field. Matty D certainly was frustrated with that miscommunication.
Well, he currently is in the 27th position in the running order, but if you look at the playoff grid, we checked the playoff grid here in the booth. Matt DiBenedetto was 3 points below the cut line to make the round of 8 coming into today's race. Currently, as things stand, he is 27 points below that cut line. Now, granted, that could all change. Who knows? Maybe he ends up rallying up. Maybe he gets a win today. That all has to be played out. But again, at this very moment, just to give some context to the situation for DiBenedetto, Dan, he's 27 points down, and that is not a good thing.
Not a good afternoon so far for Matt DiBenedetto. Another Matt not having the afternoon that he was looking to is Matt Crafton. He was also below the cutoff line, and currently Crafton is being shown running in the 16th position, dueling with Bailey Curry. So Crafton actually needs a very, very good day here to get above the cutoff line, and so far, and it's been tough. Crafton, interestingly enough, the only driver in today's field who raced in the final race, I shouldn't say the final race, but the last time the trucks were here back in 2009.
Seeing what he can do to draw on that experience, albeit from 14 years ago. Absolutely right, Dan. Matt Crafton, a driver who has driven in several of those NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series events dating back to that 1995 to 2009 stretch. I got to thinking about that as you were discussing the history of this track, Dan. Went back and looked. Ron Hornaday Jr., he won the last time this series came here to West Allis, Wisconsin, back in June of 2009. And I bet you will remember this. Remember that 5-race win streak that Hornaday went on that summer?
Yes.
It all started here. His win here at Milwaukee started that string of 5 in a row.
A couple of other drivers were multiple-time winners here at the Milwaukee Mile. Ted Musgrave won here twice. Of course, Hornaday won here twice. Johnny Benson had them both beat. Johnny Benson won here at the Milwaukee Mile 3 times. So all those 3 drivers were multiple winners here at the Milwaukee Mile.
Among the drivers we just mentioned, it began with a discussion of Matt Crafton and how he is struggling here in the opening stage of the race, mired back in the 16th position. Tim Catalfamo, what's the story there?
Well, Matt Crafton just came on the radio a moment ago, and I heard him say the word tight. One of the crew was talking about tight. A lot of drivers searching for rear grip, but that was something that I heard on the Matt Crafton radio just a moment ago. Crafton again started back in the 18th, started all the way back in the 22nd position, has been able to move his way forward a little bit, but clearly the handling not where he needs it to be right now.
He is trading back and forth the 16th position with Bailey Curry.
Again, guys, if you haven't already, make sure and hit that subscribe button. That way you don't miss out on any of these streams. I do them every single weekend, so I'm just saying, if you don't want to miss out, I do it.
Offering special discounts to fans because teams can count on Craftsman tools to get the job done, and now you can too. When you take advantage of the Craftsman deal of the race, you'll save on the tools that will help you power through your projects. And our current deal, well, it's going fast. So go to Craftsman.com for details on the current deal of the race. The deal of the race is brought to you by Craftsman at participating Lowe's and Ace Hardware and online. Restrictions apply. See Craftsman.com/deal of the race for details.
Soon it will be the end of the week, and soon you will be at a NASCAR race. An entire weekend dedicated to all things big, fast, and loud. concerts, tailgates, friends, family, and, oh yeah, racing. 75 years of it to be exact. Soon you'll have the weekend that you'll wish never ended, that you'll talk about for years to come. Soon can't come soon enough. To experience a NASCAR race in person, visit NASCAR.com/tickets.
41 laps are complete. Grant Enfinger continues to lead, some 1.86 seconds over second place man Nick Sanchez. From the Milwaukee Mile, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
Sage Fruit is a premium grower, packer, and shipper of Washington tree fruit. Apples, pears, and cherries, and it's always an exceptional eating experience, and they're grown in the beautiful Pacific Northwest. Not only is their produce healthy, but they are grown with such care and precision that you can count on each piece of fruit having exceptional flavor. High-quality fruit, exceptional flavor, healthy snacking. Make sure when you go to your local grocery store, ask for Sage Fruit. Sage Fruit, it's our first choice for quick and easy snacking. Hi, I'm MRN lead reporter Steve Post. Go behind the scenes each week with me and championship-winning crew chief Todd Gordon for MRN Crew Call.
Really proud of those guys and what they put together.
Where we talk to first-time winners. Crew chief for Trackhouse Racing, Travis Mack joins us, and champions from the NASCAR Cup Series. Your 2022 championship-winning crew chief Paul Wolf to the Craftsman Truck Series. The championship-winning crew chief with driver Zane Smith joins us. You can download MRN Crew Call wherever you get your podcasts.
Back at the Milwaukee Mile, where 43 laps are complete in the Clean Harbors 175. Let's have a look at the leaderboard presented by Napa, with nearly 6,000 Napa Auto Parts stores and over 17,000 Napa Auto Care centers. Napa is the fuel that helps drivers like you get up and go.
Currently, and this is with 43 laps complete. Now lap 44 goes on the board. 11 laps shy of completing stage one. The leader, Grant Enfinger. Nick Sanchez, well, he's 2.5 seconds back in second. Taylor Gray is third. Carson Hocevar is fourth. Then Corey Heim is fifth. Christian Eckes is sixth. William Sawalich seventh. Chase Purdy eighth. Ben Rhodes is ninth. And Derek Kraus is 10th.
Jake Garcia races from the 11th spot. 12th is Tanner Gray. Ty Majeski now in 13th. 14th you'll find Zane Smith. Tyler Ankrum in 15th. 16th is Bailey Curry. Matt Crafton in 17th. Matt Mills, after starting from the rear, he's worked his way up to the 18th spot. 19th is Raja Karuth. And 20th is Haley Deegan.
With Dean Thompson in 21st. Colby Howard is in 22nd. Connor Jones is 23rd. And then Stuart Friesen, who just gave up 24th spot to Brett Holmes. So that will drop Stuart Friesen back into 25th. Sean Hingarani, 26th. Daniel Dye is in 27th position. Tyler Hill is back in 28th. Matt DiBenedetto is a lap down now in 29th. And Lawless Allen also a lap down in 30th.
31st, Derek Lemke. Greg Van Alst is 32nd. 33rd, Spencer Boyd. Josh Rayum rides in the 35th position. 35th is Brad Perez, with Josh Balicki out of the race. He's listed as being in 36th.
We've been slowed by caution just once for 7 laps. That was for an incident involving the truck driven by Josh Balicki. We've been clean and green since then. 9 laps remaining here in the opening stage of the race, and so far it had been Grant Enfinger. Enfinger starting from the pole. He has led every lap so far here this afternoon. In fact, Enfinger now working in some traffic as he heads off of turn number 2.
Daniel Dye right in front of our race leader off of turn 2 and up the back straightaway. Grant Enfinger has done such a great job in moving inside and out on a lot of these trucks that have gone a lap down. Nick Sanchez really unable to close until right now as Grant Enfinger gets pinned in behind that Dye truck off of turn number 4.
Enfinger not particularly in a hurry here. He's got the cushion of 2.3 seconds over Nick Sanchez. He does get around Daniel Dye, but there's still plenty of traffic left off of turn 2. The next truck would be Stuart Friesen.
Friesen right in front of the race leader off of turn number 2. Now within just a couple of truck lengths is Grant Enfinger. Not a Stuart Friesen type season, and certainly not a Stuart Friesen type day thus far, as he is about to be overhauled by the race leader.
Talked earlier about the difficulties for Matt DiBenedetto, who had to start at the back of the field because of missing driver introductions. He is shown in 29th position. He has gone a lap down, and then complicating the matter for DiBenedetto is the fact that we're getting very close to the end of stage one, but he is not in position to get the free pass. Stuart Friesen right now is the first of the drivers who are one lap down. So if you're Matt Benedetto, here you are in the playoffs. You come into this race below the cut line already. You have the difficulties we just described. Sometimes you lose a lap early. You think, all right, I get to the end of the first stage. Caution comes out, I'll get the free pass. But as it stands right now, Dan, he won't even get that benefit.
Yeah, this is a tough day for Matt DiBenedetto. He finished 10th at IRP, and he's had 7 top 10s in their last 8 races. So you figure, okay, things are starting to roll. We're finally starting to get it together here at Rackley War Racing, but it just hasn't panned out for him so far here at the Milwaukee Mile.
At the same time, Ty Majeski, well, given the way his day started, pass-through penalty starting at the back of the field, he has to work his way up to the 11th position. Now, he is still some 16 seconds behind the race leader, but that's really a moot point because we have just 4 laps to go here in the opening stage of the race. Ty Majeski now has put all of that early difficulty behind him and has cycled his way back up through the running order, Kyle, as we work our way toward the conclusion of stage 1.
As he races back to the corner, set behind a big pack of trucks and about 10 or 15 truck lengths behind. He may not get to Derek Krause, who is racing with Ben Rhodes off of turn number 2 and up the back straightaway. But the fact that he's now just outside of the top 10, quite an accomplishment here in stage number 1 from where that team began this race just about several laps ago.
So far, driven a very, very smart race. Ty Majeski has, slowly, methodically, picking them off one at a time. Doesn't have to rush himself here. Right now, within just a car length and a half of Chase Purdy as they race back to turns 1 and 2.
Back to the corner they go as they are side by side just ahead of him. Derek Krause goes to the inside, trying to pick up that position with Ben Rhodes to the outside, just in front of Ty Majeski as they race into turn number 3. Chase Purdy just in front of that side-by-side battle for position. Great battle for position just outside of the top 10 off board.
Back up at the front of the field, Grant Enfinger just went across the start-finish line. It leaves us 2 laps to go here in the first stage of the Clean Harbors 175. He continues to work his way up through this field. He is closing behind the driver in 24th. That is Rajah Caruth. And getting ready to try to put him a lap down. Maybe. We say maybe because there's only 1 lap to go now here in the opening stage of the race. Here comes the leader across start finish. Enfinger squares up behind Rajah Caruth's truck, but continues to follow him as they head off of turn 2.
Just made the pass on Sean Ingarani to Brad Perez off the base on the back straightaway. Enfinger will go to his inside. May or may not make the move on Rajah Caruth here in the final half lap of this opening stage. Caruth trying to stay on the lead lap. Here comes Grant Enfinger looking for the stage win.
Boy, if he's not going to pass him, he's certainly making it look like it. He is really pressuring Rajah Caruth off of turn 4, but then he backs off. And Grant Enfinger crosses the stripe. He wins stage number 1 here in the Clean Harbors 175. Nick Sanchez finishes 2nd. Taylor Gray 3rd. Corey Heim comes across the line in the 4th spot. Christian Eckes in 5th. Carson Hosevar in the 6th spot. 7th is William Sawalich, giving it a good effort here today. Derek Krause finishing 8th. 9th is Chase Purdy. And Ben Rhodes rounds out the top 10. Stage 1 is in the books here in Milwaukee.
Parents, are you tired of helping put your It's Skechers to the rescue. Introducing new hands-free Skechers slip-ins. Footwear you can just get your kids to step into and their shoes are on. You don't need to bend over. You don't need to sit on the floor and try to wrangle them on. And they're available in all types of Skechers styles with and without laces. And most are machine washable. Find Skechers slip-ins for kids or mom and dad at a Skechers store or Skechers.com or wherever stylish shoes are sold.
Hi, I'm Cowhead. You may know that Dick Junction provides fun, adaptive, and life-changing experiences for kids with all levels of abilities, serious illnesses, and chronic medical conditions. But did you know that camp is free for the children and families we serve? Your support helps every camper build a foundation to live their best life. Make your gift today at victoryjunction.org/donate and feel your heart race.
Pit road will be opening soon, and we'll cover those pit stops for you from the Milwaukee Mile. This is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
Looking for motorsports podcasts you won't find anywhere else? Check out the Motor Racing Network's lineup of exclusive podcasts. MRN Classic Racing, Junior's Journey, The Many Hats of Jack Roush, Richard Petty, Road to Royalty, 50 Years of MRN, Jeff Gordon, A Colorful Career, and The Tough Trucks of NASCAR. Find these and more MRN exclusive podcasts on podcast providers and MRN.com.
This is Steve Post. If you love sprint cars, you'll love Wing Nation. Join World of Outlaw winner Aaron Evernham and me every Tuesday at noon Eastern Time on Motor Racing Networks and Wing Nation's Facebook pages. We go live with the weekend's winners and newsmakers from around the country each and every week. You can also find the podcast of all past shows on YouTube or subscribe to the podcast on any of your favorite podcast providers. Wing Nation, all sprint cars, all the time.
Welcome back to the Motor Racing Network's coverage of the Clean Harbors 1 to 75. I'm Dan Hubbard. Alongside is Kurt Becker. Stage 1 has just concluded and pit road is still closed. Your leader is Grant Enfinger, Nick Sanchez in second, Taylor Gray third, Corey Heim fourth, with Christian Eckes rounding out our top 5.
Truck of Matt Mills had been on the pit lane. He is in the lineup today driving for Kyle Busch Motorsports. So his truck has now left pit road and returned to the racetrack. As mentioned, the pit lane has not officially opened yet, but now with the Mills truck gone from the pit lane, we expect to see it open up here soon.
The Blue Green Vacations fastest lap of the race so far was run by Nick Sanchez at 119.898 miles per hour. Blue Green Vacations, the official vacation ownership provider of NASCAR, invites you to believe in the power of vacation. With Blue Green, you can create a lifetime of memories at our collection of unique, locally inspired resorts and enjoy exclusive access to VIP NASCAR experiences. Start your vacation journey today at bluegreenvacations.com.
Here comes the field now, and pit road is open this time by, so the pace truck bringing everyone off of turn number 4. Expecting to see the bulk of the field come down the pit road to the attention of their crews, and indeed that's exactly what begins to unfold. The leader, Grant Enfinger, Nick Sanchez, who runs in second. Everyone pretty much throughout the top 15, top 20 are now beginning to work their way down the pit lane. We cover the stops by going first to Tim Cattle Family.
Corey Heim is in his pit stall. Kurt, the driver of that machine, has been complaining of a loose truck. They just can't seem to quite get the handling just right for Corey Heim. He's been loose really since the start of the race. It's going to be a 4-tire stop, a little bit slow on the left front. Sunoco field going in. Zane Smith is also in my section. He is also loose as well. By Majeski, they're doing some extensive work on the right side of the truck. Pit stops happening here on my section of pit road. Chris Litter, what about in front of you?
Well, Grant Enfinger got boxed out by Chase Purdy, so his 4-tire change is a little slow. He'll lose the race off pit road, but he complained of being really free on entry over the course of that run. They made a slight chassis adjustment. Christian Eckes was 4 tires in Sunoco fuel. Nick Sanchez said super tight through the center of the corner. They made a track bar adjustment on that Chevrolet, as well as Carson Hocevar and Ben Rhodes, both complaining of tight race trucks. So lots of adjustments down here, but again, a slow stop on Grant Enfinger. He'll lose the race off pit road.
Corey Heim won that race off of pit road. Grant Enfinger right behind him. Then it was Christian Eckes, Carson Hocevar, and Matt Mills. We'll be back with the start of stage 2 in a moment.
Sir, are you aware you were going 40 miles an hour? This is a residential area.
Sure, but I'm on my lawnmower? Wait, am I getting a ticket?
No, I've just never seen anyone top 9 miles an hour on one of those bad boys. And mow their entire lawn in 30 seconds? What got into you?
Well, it did fuel up at Sunoco this morning. At Sunoco, we know how to fuel peak performance. We've been doing it for American racing for over 50 years. Fuel your best.
For 75 years, has been making history.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. comes back to the Daytona International Speedway, leading the pack, coming to the line. He will win the Pepsi 400.
Catch the next iconic moment as we celebrate 75 years of NASCAR all season long.
Chastain did a video game move, drove it and never lifted.
Right here on the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
From the Milwaukee Mile, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
Do you have an unused car, truck, motorcycle, boat, or RV taking up space? Put it to good use by donating it to the NASCAR Foundation. Proceeds help fund medical resources for children in our racing community. Your wheels can heal. Call 844-NASCAR-9 and we'll come tow away your vehicle for free. The process is quick. Your gift is tax deductible. Call 844-NASCAR-9 to donate your vehicle to the NASCAR Foundation today. Your donation will help our children survive and thrive.
Not getting enough of your NASCAR Live fix on Tuesdays? Well, we've got you covered. The NASCAR Live Wide Open podcast drops every Thursday and has the sport covered from all angles.
Long shots this weekend. Eric Jones, former Southern 500 winner.
From top 5 list to a weekly look at the odds, NASCAR Live Wide Open offers a fun and unique look at the sport we all love. Subscribe to NASCAR Live wherever you listen to podcasts. Get ready to put the pedal down and go wide open every Thursday.
Welcome back to the Milwaukee Mile in the running of the Clean Harbors 175. I'm Dan Hubbard. Alongside is Kurt Becker. Down on pit road, we have Chris Wilner and Tim Catalfamo covering the action for us down back straightaway at the end of turn 3 and 4. Kyle Rickey. Stage 1 is complete, won by Grant Enfinger. We're just about to begin stage 2. And when they come to the stripe, it'll be Corey Heim, our regular season champion for 2023 in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. He will bring the field to the flag. Corey has the most playoff points of all the drivers, but I'll bet that he would trade that for a win here today for the Tricon Garage team.
One thing is, he is most definitely a driver that seems to be a threat every week, and maybe that is the reason why he, you think back, Dan, a year ago, he did not run. Corey Heim did not run the full schedule in this NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series a year ago, but yet picked up a win or two, and now this year he seems to have built on what he learned last year and has done a good job throughout the course of the season. Very consistent. Again, he's been a threat to win, it seems like, no matter where we go, what type of racetrack layout it might be, and as you mentioned, concluded the regular season as the champion. Checking on Ty Majeski after this round of pit stops. Majeski, he had been in the 11th position when he came down pit road. We talked about all the progress he made. He's getting ready to restart back in the 22nd spot. We've just gotten the signal. One more lap, we'll go back under the green flag. The truck fell off the jack during the pit stop. Cost him about a dozen positions on pit road.
So he has got to fight his way back up through the field one more time. And you could argue he has one of the best trucks here on the afternoon. He just can't show it. Again, falling from the 11th spot to outside the top 20. Tough break for Ty Majeski. We'll see how that works out for him. You're talking about Corey Heim. Corey has an ARCA start here at Milwaukee where he finished a very respectable 6th in the year 2021. So he will bring the field back to the stripe. The field is making their way to the Geico Restart Zone presented by Geico. Switch to Geico today and see all the ways you could save. It's easy. Simply go to geico.com to get a rate quote and get started seeing how much you can save.
On the choose, Grant Enfinger is going to line up on the inside lane. The race leader, Corey Heim, has chosen the outside lane. Here they come now, getting ready to get stage 2 underway at the Clean Harbors 175. Green flag is in the air at Milwaukee. Christian Eckes giving a shove to Corey Heim to turn number 1.
Corey Heim in the outside lane. Grant Enfinger to the bottom. Couple trucks go piling into the outside wall behind them, including a hard contact with Brad Perez, who gets the outside wall. One other truck involved. That is Greg Van Alst going off into turn number 1.
Caution comes out for the second time in the Clean Harbors 175 due to a 2-truck incident. Back over in turn 2. Let's go back to Kyle Rickey.
Happened toward the back of the field as they were racing 2 and 3 wide into the corner. I caught the tail end of it as both trucks came off of the outside safer barrier. Both heavily damaged and will not be able to drive away from the scene of the incident. Greg Van Alst to the outside of Brad Perez as they sit on the racetrack and looking for both drivers to climb out of those trucks.
Both of these drivers make sporadic appearances in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. Brad Perez is a driver who has been involved in the sport of NASCAR. He has worked on over-the-wall pit crews. He has been a member of crews back at the shops in North Carolina. And on occasion, when things come together, we see him climb behind the wheel of one of these NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series machines. Today being one of those days, regrettably for Brad, one of the drivers involved in this incident, bringing out our third caution. The other, you heard Kyle mention the name of Greg Van Alst, a native of Anderson, Indiana, scored a big win in the ARCA Menard Series back at the start of the year in February, and now has been transitioning toward a focus on this NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series, but again, involved in the incident here, bringing out the caution flag as we continue to circulate the field does behind the pace truck.
It's a tough break for those two drivers. Again, as Kurt told you, we are under the caution for the second time in the Clean Harbors 175. Corey Heim is our leader. Grant Enfinger second. Christian Eckes in that third spot. William Sawalich, how about that? Our ARCA winner here earlier today, now riding in that fourth position with Carson Hocevar rounding out our top five. Taylor Gray has managed to go to the sixth spot. Seventh is Nick Sanchez, Chase Purdy in eighth, Tanner Gray in ninth, with Derek Kraus rounding out our top 10.
Field continues to work under the caution, and we'll be back underway hopefully in just a moment, although cleanup continues on the high side, the outside lane, down in turn number 1. It's been an eventful start to the race in a number of regards, but yet at the same time, so far, only two drivers have led this race today. Corey Heim, currently the race leader. He's been out front for the last few circuits. He took the lead on pit road. Again, when you heard Chris Wilner describe the difficulties that Grant Enfinger had, and Grant got boxed into his pit stall. By the time he was able to work his way back out off pit road, Corey Heim had already won the race off of the pit lane. Field comes off of turn number 4, and as we continue to work under the yellow flag, it gives us a chance to welcome Jim Buckley to the broadcast, head of communications for Clean Harbors. Of course, today's race, the Clean Harbors 175. Jim, welcome to Milwaukee.
Thank you very much, and we're so happy to sponsor today's race and be a part of bringing NASCAR back to Milwaukee after a 14-year layoff. And it's been a great day, great weather, great race. We've had a little bit of everything so far, both with the earlier race and here in the Truck Series race. So happy to be here.
I remember seeing the folks from Clean Harbors back a couple of years ago at the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series race in Knoxville, Iowa, and everybody with the organization was so excited about being involved with the sport of NASCAR. What is it about NASCAR that makes this sport a good fit for Clean Harbors?
Well, it's actually a great match for us in a number of ways. One, we're the leading recycler of waste oil, collector and recycler of waste oil. So we take the oil out of all of the cars in all of the different motorsport series and recycle it and put it back into the environment in a meaningful way. But second, we're the 17th largest private motor carrier fleet in North America. So we are a massive transportation and logistics company. We're known for being environmental services, but we got a lot of rolling stock on the road. And so we know what it's like about being a great driver and having great drivers in your fleet.
Give us a little bit more detail about the kinds of services that Clean Harbors offers. I mean, obviously you do more than just recycle oil.
Sure, that's just one of many things we do. Our pitch to customers is if you have hazardous waste, we'll take everything short of nuclear. So all the byproducts that come out of manufacturing and right on down to oil, we take it and we recycle anything that can be pulled out of that waste stream, and anything that can't, we either bury it or we burn it.
And how long has Clean Harbors been up to these services?
We were founded in 1980 by Alan McKim, great American success story. He led the company for 43 years. He's still our chairman of the board. He just stepped down for being the CEO just within the last 6 months. And so it's a tremendous story, and it's a great company to work for. And we're up 22,000 strong and $5 billion from Alan starting it with 3 guys in a truck.
Now, if I was a business, if I had a big business and I wanted to learn more, where would I go? Who would I call?
Well, you can come right to cleanharbors.com. We've got 50 different lines of business, and if you've got hazardous waste, we're probably already working with you.
Well, Jim, we appreciate what you do at Clean Harbors, the entire staff. We also appreciate the support that Clean Harbors continues to show for NASCAR, and specifically for this NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. As you said, it's always fun to be at the races, but you all playing a special role in helping bring NASCAR racing back to the Milwaukee Mile, and we thank you one and all for that.
Great. We're happy to be here and happy to be today's sponsor.
That is Jim Buckley. Stanley, head of communications for Clean Harbors, our title sponsor today for the Clean Harbors 175. Not just a NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series race, a playoff race, and the first race at this Milwaukee Mile in some 14 years. We work under the caution flag with Corey Heim still shown as the race leader.
All right, so cleanup operations continue over there in turns 1 and 2. Both trucks have been removed. We are under caution here at the Milwaukee Mile.
Hi, I'm Ryan Blaney, a third-generation race car driver, and we dedicate a lot of our time to going as fast as possible. My grandpa Lou is the reason why my dad and I started racing, and I'm really trying to follow in his tracks. But when my grandpa was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, it was a very unexpected bump in the road for us. I've learned a lot on this journey with my grandpa Lou, and the memories of my grandpa will always be with me. It's important to notice if older family members are acting differently, experiencing problems with their memory, or having trouble with routine tasks. Talking about Alzheimer's can be really tough. But if you notice something, have a conversation with your loved one. Encourage them to see a doctor or offer to go with them. Early detection of Alzheimer's can give your family time to explore support services. They can plan for the future and access available treatments. The Alzheimer's Association provides care, support, and research to help you take control of the situation with your family and manage the disease together. If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together. Visit alz.org/time to talk. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
From the Milwaukee Mile, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
Sage Fruit is a premium grower, packer, and shipper of Washington tree fruit. Apples, pears, and cherries, and it's always an exceptional eating experience, and they're grown in the beautiful Pacific Northwest. Not only is their produce healthy, but they are grown with such care and precision that you can count on each piece of fruit having exceptional flavor. High-quality fruit, exceptional flavor, healthy snacking. Make sure when you go to your local grocery store, ask for Sage Fruit. Sage Fruit, it's our first choice for quick and easy snacking.
Jeff Gordon wins the Daytona 500.
Jeff Gordon's rise to one of NASCAR's all-time greatest drivers was one like no other. Relive Jeff Gordon's journey to the NASCAR Hall of Fame with the exclusive MRN podcast, Jeff Gordon, A Colorful Career. 93 Cup Series wins, 4 Cup Series championships, and 3 Daytona 500 wins. A career rivaled by few others. Check out MRN's Jeff Gordon, A Colorful Career on podcast platforms and MRN.com.
Back under the green flag here at the Milwaukee Mile. Corey Heim leads the field down the back straightaway.
Everybody safely through turns 1 and 2 and up the back straightaway. It is Heim at the point, side by side now for position number 2 with Eckes to the outside. Grant Enfinger will take that spot as they come off forward.
Here's Enfinger now, works his way up off of turn number 4 and tries to chase down the leader, Corey Heim. In the meantime, William Sawalich, only his 5th career start in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. He's on the move to the inside off turn 2.
Having a great run among the top 5 right now, moving to the inside of Eckes for position number 4. And was going to get a run on Grant Enfinger for the 2nd spot up the back straightaway. Grant a bit stronger in the outside lane. Good 3-way race from 2nd on back. That includes William Sawalich in that 4th spot.
16-year-old William Sawalich wants to show the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series drivers how to get it done here in Milwaukee. Look briefly to the inside of Christian Eckes. That would be the fight for that 3rd spot. Eckes on his part trying to get around Grant Enfinger for 2nd.
Eckes in 3rd, then William Sawalich in 4th. Both trying to move around Grant Enfinger, who leads this pack of traffic up the back straightaway in position number 2. And as they battle hot and heavy from the 2nd spot, it's allowing the race leader, Corey Heim, to pull away at the front.
Corey Heim, driving for Tricon Garage, is the race leader. We've mentioned William Sawalich. He also drives for Tricon Garage. He's in 4th. In between that pair of teammates, there's a heck of a battle heating up once again over in turn number 2.
Back in the corner in a race from 2nd on back. Grant Enfinger has it. Up the back straightaway they go. And then it's going to be the battle for 4th. William Sawalich looking to the inside, but can't make the move on Christian Eckes as they get back to single file formation through turn 4.
Eckes almost got around Grant Enfinger on that last lap, pulled over to the left, but Enfinger said not quite yet, and now starts pulling away from Eckes. It'll be Grant Enfinger in that 2nd spot, Christian Eckes in 3rd. 4th, you'll find William Sawalich. He may be feeling a challenge from youngster Nick Sanchez.
Nick Sanchez having a good run and looking to the inside off of turn number 2. Gets a good run on the bottom, but it's not enough to pull up alongside William Sawalich, who hangs on to 4th. Nick Sanchez, then a couple of truck lengths back to Carson Hocevar.
Ty Majeski, hell, he's doing it again for the second time today. He's working his way up the leaderboard. He restarted back in the 22nd position. He has now climbed his way back up into 13th, albeit still some 5 seconds behind the race leader. Back to the top 5. The battle for the 4th position is a good one on the backstretch.
William Sawalich has it once again off of turn number 2, drifts off wide, off of the corner, opens the door for Nick Sanchez. Sanchez can't make a move this time by, settles in the line as Carson Hocevar continues to close in 6th.
Sanchez, in his efforts to try to get around William Sawalich, almost threw it away, overdrove turn 1 on that last lap. Now he backs off and he's right behind the tailgate of William Sawalich. That is the fight for the 4th spot off turn 2.
Sanchez again drives it in a bit deep into turn number 1, loses ground to William Sawalich, and also allows the truck behind him and Carson Hocevar to close to within 1 truck length. Nobody making a move for position this time, although here comes Carson Hocevar within a truck length or less of Nick Sanchez for 5th.
Trying to work his way up toward the front of the field, Carson Hocevar in that 6th position. He's a playoff driver. So is rookie Nick Sanchez, who's straight ahead of him. So a couple of drivers with a lot on the line, battling for that 5th position.
William Sawalich trying to break away just a bit in 4th and let those 2 youngsters duel it out behind him for 5th. Right now, things are tame for that 5th spot. Nick Sanchez has it, has about a truck length and a half in hand over Carson Hocevar.
Meanwhile, things are looking a little bit better for Matt Crafton. After a dreadful stage 1, he now rides in the 8th position off of turn 4, and he's looking for more. Starts gaining ground on Taylor Gray in that 7th position. In fact, Crafton looks to the inside as they enter into turn 2.
This battle for position well behind the top 6 with Hocevar in that 6th spot. Then it's a bit of a gap back to I think that Taylor Gray in the 7th position. Truck length over Matt Crafton. Crafton digging hard to the bottom, but can't make a move. But that truck looking much better in this stage than in the opening stage of this race.
Yeah, to give you an idea regarding Matt Crafton, in the opening stage of the race, he was 15 points below the cutoff line on the playoff grid. Now, working his way through stage 2, he's improved his running position on the racetrack, and he has risen to 4 points above the cut line on that playoff grid. So Matt Crafton getting things turned around, at least for now, is headed in a more positive direction. Not the case, though, for Ben Rhodes. Ben Rhodes has dropped below the cut line. He has been stuck back in the 14th position, some 8.5 seconds behind the race leader. Let's check in with Chris Milner.
Yeah, that Ben Rhodes truck is just absolutely a handful right now. He came over the radio and said that adjustment did not help. Still fighting tight. And I talked to Ben earlier this afternoon. He said, we just can't.
There's Ryan Preece onboard footage. Dude, if there's Ryan Preece onboard footage, I need a link to that right now. Someone send me a link to that.
Not time
That way I can see it.
to make things worse, but unfortunately for Ben, they are going the wrong direction on the racetrack, hoping to come out of today with a top 10, but as you guys mentioned it, the points continues to stack on top of him being outside the cut line. So right now for Ben Rhodes, trying to just coach him through, and his crew chief Derek Prince trying to offer him some key words of advice here on this run to get to the next pit stop, but a handful right now for Ben Rhodes.
All right, thank you, Chris. Hey, let's check in and see who's having a good race at this point in the event, presented by Craftsman. To celebrate the return of Craftsman to the NASCAR Truck Series, Craftsman is offering special discounts to fans. Take advantage.
By the way, to everyone that's in here right now, guys, if you haven't already, make sure and hit that subscribe button. That way you don't miss out on these streams. Like, guys, do you want to watch these every freaking weekend? You better subscribe then. That way you know who the hell I am.
Understandably so, Dan, because Sawalich has had a terrific run so far here this afternoon. Again, he's just 16 years of age. He's only made 4 prior starts in this NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. And today, well, so far he has been in the top 5 throughout most of this event, certainly in the top 10, and currently now in the top 5. And it's not just that he's having a good run, it's the fact he's been involved in a few battles. He has found the proper balance so far between being aggressive on the track, defending his position on the racetrack, while at the same time racing cleanly against those around him.
Exactly, and your last point is what I was going to bring up. For a 16-year-old to mix it up with these drivers who are far more experienced than he is, particularly in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. He's doing a fantastic job, William Sawalich.
All right, Looney, I just saw the video. That shit's fucking scary.
Matt Kraft.
That really is.
Adding. Tim, can you add some more?
Well, the crew has been making adjustments on the Matt Crafton truck really all afternoon long. Matt Crafton originally started the race very tight, but the crew had made an air pressure adjustment. They also made a track form adjustment on the last pit stop. And as you guys have well documented, Matt Crafton is now starting to march his way forward up the running order on the racetrack, and is starting to understand how that truck is handling, and is starting to pick up positions on the track.
So as he does so, Matt Crafton, there's a good battle for the lead, Kyle, shaping up in front of you.
Yeah, it was only a matter of time for Grant Enfinger to first get to Corey Heim. He's been reeling them in the last couple of laps, but just a half a lap ago, pulled up alongside off of turn number 4. Heim a bit stronger in the outside lane, maintains the lead this time by, but here's Enfinger going wide off turn 4, looking to build a run.
Yeah, lost a little bit of ground coming off of turn 4, so Corey Heim maintains the lead. But Grant Enfinger has been watching him lap after lap after lap, and he's figuring out if Corey has any vulnerabilities here at the Milwaukee Mile. This time, Kyle Rickey, off turn 2, Grant Enfinger is off the rear tailgate by about a car length and a half.
Not a whole lot of pressure for Corey Heim. This time up the back straightaway, about a truck length or so. But Enfinger a better run into turn number 3. We'll chop that interval down to about a half a truck length between the race leaders.
This battle for the lead unfolding with 22 laps to go in stage 2.
Bundling and saving with Geico is an easy choice, so you're free to ponder life's big questions, like what's the best animal in the world if not humans? I'd strongly consider ducks to be somewhere up there on the list. Think about it. Ducks can swim, ducks can fly, and ducks can walk on land. They have access to all terrains. They are the ultimate animal. And they wiggle their butts when they walk, which is funny. Yeah, ducks are awesome. End of story. Bundling and saving with Geico. It's an easy choice.
The year was 1993. The NASCAR Cup Series season kicked off with the Dale and Dale show at the Daytona 500.
Dale Jarrett's got the lead. He goes to the inside. Earnhardt's not going to get him. Dale Jarrett is going to win the Daytona 500 by SDP. Earnhardt second.
The 1993 NASCAR Cup Series season. All the highs and lows. Relive them all on MRN's exclusive podcast, The 1993 Season. Available on podcast platforms and MRN.com.
Corey Heim, the race leader, with Grant Enfinger just a truck length behind him. Then there's a gap of another 12 truck lengths or so to Christian Eckes in third, followed by William Sawalich in fourth. Nick Sanchez completing the top 5. 20 laps to go in stage 2 from the Milwaukee Mile. This is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
It all builds up to this at Darlington Raceway. If you're going to kick off the playoffs, why not do it big?
Green flag is up.
Like Labor Day weekend big.
That's how you make a move.
And a rail goes through it. Like Southern 500 big. The only thing bigger than the action will be the experience of seeing it live. NASCAR Playoffs Weekend at Darlington Raceway, September 2nd and 3rd. Get your tickets today at darlingtonraceway.com. Discover South Carolina.
MRN Classic Races.
The race to the Daytona 500 victory at the stripe. Kevin Harvick gets it by inches.
Covering over 50 years of NASCAR racing on the Motor Racing Network.
World 600, Richard Petty, career win number 170.
This is going to be close. They lead on one another. Ricky Craven gets the win, and they continue the crash headed up into turn 1. Craven pounds the wall. Kurt Busch right back at him.
MRN Classic Races available on your favorite podcast platform.
Welcome back to Milwaukee, where we continue to work our way through stage 2 of the Clean Harbors 175 for the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. Corey Heim has been out front for the majority of this stage. But Dan Hubbard, you've been keeping your eye on a good battle that's been going on from 7th position on back. Matt Crafton and the rest.
Absolutely. Matt Crafton has finally gotten by Taylor Gray, but it may not stick. Here comes Gray around the outside off of turn 2.
They are side by side for that position off of turn 2 and up the back straightaway. Gray with the run in the outside lane. Crafton with the shorter way around on the bottom. Still side by side into turn number 3. Crafton out front. Then it's Gray. Zane Smith. Ty Majeski joins that battle as well.
Zane Smith, the defending series champion. We haven't talked much about him today, but as Kyle said, he's right there. And then Ty Majeski, who has worked his way into the top 10 for the first time this afternoon after being penalized early and starting at the back of the field. All of that traffic heads off turn 2.
And he's not done yet. It's another great run as Ty Majeski off of turn number 2 pulls up alongside Zane Smith and will make that pass by the time they get to turn number 3. So the march toward the front of the field for Ty Majeski continues here off 4.
Good forward bite on the part of Ty Majeski. Good back straightaway speed as well. He gets around Zane Smith. That's for the 9th spot. Zane Smith told us he's only seen 22 laps of practice at this particular facility, so he's doing a lot of on-the-job training. Here comes Ty Majeski around the outside of Taylor Gray like Gray wasn't even there. So Majeski on the move. In that truck that they'll try to pass is Matt Crafton, who's about 8 truck lengths up ahead.
All that traffic works its way back off of turn number 4 at the front of the field. Grant Enfinger, Corey Heim, they have had an incredible back and forth battle for the lead throughout the course of this second stage of the race. Heim gave up the lead at lap 85 to Enfinger. Heim took the lead back at lap number 86. And now Grant Enfinger back at the front of the field once again with some 96 laps completed. That leaves us with 14 laps to go. In fact, the leader comes across the stripe. Grant Enfinger, Kyle, I guess you'd have to say that Grant is feeling pretty racy here this afternoon.
Dominated the opening stage and was only, I think, biding his time, waiting for Corey Heim to slip up just a bit, as he did a lap ago before he retook the top spot and did with the help of some lap traffic. Grant Enfinger back to the front of the field and immediately draws away.
Grant Enfinger, who finished 3rd in the ARCA Menard Series race earlier today here at the Milwaukee Mile, now leads in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series, crosses the stripe. He's about 5 to 6 truck lengths in front of Corey Heim. Then you'll find that battle for 3rd, and it's a good one. Christian Eckes.
If there's footage of Chase Briscoe's onboard view too, send that to me here in chat. I want to see it too.
To the inside, that allows Christian Eckes to maintain that 3rd spot, keep that position by about
I want to see all the onboard angles I can get.
Nick Sanchez, who has his hands full with Carson Hocevar.
Sanchez in the 5th position. Carson Hocevar swinging to the outside. Now squares up right behind him. Sanchez has 5th. Carson Hocevar rides in 6th. Again, both of these drivers are playoff contenders. Sanchez, a rookie. Hocevar, the winningest driver in the regular season. They're off turn 2.
Hocevar trying to go a little bit wider. Mark off of turn number 2 and build a run up the back straightaway. He does and closes in on Nick Sanchez. Tries to make the dive bar move into turn number 3. He does just that. Moves around Nick Sanchez. Moves Carson Hocevar.
At the top of the broadcast, Hocevar said there was no grip down at the bottom, but he just passed Nick Sanchez on the lower line off turns 3 and 4. So now Carson Hocevar rides in that 5th position, looks up ahead at that battle between Christian Eckes and William Sawalich.
William Sawalich has that position just in front of Carson Hocevar. A gap of about 6 truck lengths up the back straightaway, and is able to break away by 2 now over the truck he passed just less than a lap ago with Nick Sanchez.
So everybody continues to work their way around the racetrack under the green flag with just 10 laps to go. Here in the second stage of the race, you've got Grant Enfinger with the race lead. Corey Heim is in 2nd. The leader, Enfinger, though, is starting to close in on a lot of slower traffic straight ahead on the backstretch.
Moved around Garrett Lemke a couple laps ago and now closes in on 3 more trucks into turn number 3, including Tyler Hill. That'll be the next truck that Enfinger sees. About 7 or 8 truck lengths back to Corey Heim in the 2nd spot.
Here comes the field off of turn 4. And Kyle Rickey, I want to tip the cap to William Sawalich, only because he's only 16 years old, running in that 4th position, but as I watch him, it's as if he's been in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series for some 10 seasons. Do you agree with me or not out of turns 3 and 4?
Looks great right now, running among the top 5, racing against some of the best in this series. There's no doubt that what he did in the ARCA Menards race gave him a lot of confidence. We talked about how seat time is everything, and a lot of these these drivers in this race have never raced on this racetrack before. Right now, not the case for Williams and Wallace. They got 150 extra laps earlier this afternoon, and showing that confidence right now in the top 5.
He is being aggressive, yet at the same time giving a lot of racing room to the guys he's competing with right now. He's right between Christian Eckes and a hard-charging Carson Hocevar off turn 2.
Hocevar looking to get a little bit of a run off of turn number 2, going a bit wider, looking to make a pass in turn number 3 on Williams and Wallace. Here comes Hocevar to the inside. Wallace slides up high and give that spot to Carson Hocevar.
Hocevar continues to climb his way through the top 5 in the running order. He has now gotten around to take the 4th position. Been watching Matt DiBenedetto. What a difficult day it has been for him. Got penalized for missing driver introductions. Had to start at the back of the field. Went a lap down. He is one of 2 drivers 1 lap down at the moment. The other being Lawless Allen. Allen rides 26th, DiBenedetto in 27th. So a couple of points here regarding DiBenedetto. Not only is he not in position to get the free pass as we come toward the end of stage 2, Kyle, he might be in danger right now going a 2nd lap down.
He is. He is the next truck in line, just in front of race leader Grant Enfinger as they work their way up the back straightaway into turn number 3. Matt DiBenedetto looking to keep in front of the race leader of Grant Enfinger, but it's going to be a tough task as Enfinger really gains ground.
Yeah, simply it's just a matter of time. In fact, it may happen right here on the front stretch as they hit the stripe. Grant Enfinger pulls over to driver's left, and he does put Matt DiBenedetto another lap down as Enfinger continues to lead down the back straightaway.
Eric Lemke just had a moment here in turns 3 and 4. Not sure if he got the outside wall. If he didn't, it was close as we keep an eye on Grant Enfinger, who is in turn number 3 right now, with more lap traffic just in front of him, including Haley Deegan.
It'll be 3 laps remaining in stage 2. This time by for leader Grant Enfinger comes off corner number 4. As Kyle mentioned, he's got the Haley Deegan truck straight ahead. He's got the Connor Jones machine straight ahead. A couple of Thor Sport Racing trucks in his sights off turn 2.
Just in front of race leader Grant Enfinger, who even with all of this lap traffic the last couple of laps, is able to continue to pull away from Corey Hine, who continues to run all by himself in the 2nd spot, some 25 truck lengths behind the race leader. As Enfinger goes to the inside of Haley Deegan.
Yeah, some serious traffic there for our leader, Grant Enfinger, as he comes off of turn 4. So he backs it off just a little bit as he gets behind the truck. That would be the Connor Jones truck. So Grant Enfinger, again, taking his time. He doesn't have to press the matter here, doesn't have to force the issues. Corey Hines is way behind in 2nd.
They come up the back straightaway. Connor Jones goes to the outside as he'll now lose a lap to race leader Grant Enfinger into turn number 3. He'll get in the line just in front of his teammate Haley Deegan, who looks to the bottom, is going to pick up that spot off turn 4.
Pit road is closed. Here comes the leader Grant Enfinger. 1 lap remaining here in stage number 2. He already won the first stage of the race. Looks like he's on his way to winning stage 2 as they head off of turn number 2.
Grant Enfinger, the race leader, just behind 10. 2 trucks into the same banner. Looking to be the first truck, 1 lap down, and Connor Jones and Haley Deegan. But it is all Grant Enfinger into turn number 3 already. About 15 truck lengths in front of Corey Hine in the 2nd spot.
So far, driving a very consistent, very smart race. Grant Enfinger is. He comes off of turn 4, hits the stripe, gets the green and white checkered flag. Grant Enfinger, just like he did in the first stage, also takes the 2nd stage. Corey Hine will be marked in the 2nd position for the end of stage 2. Christian Eckes will finish 3rd. Carson Hocevar 4th. 5th is William Sawalich. Nick Sanchez will finish in the 6th spot. 7th will be amazing. Ty Majeski fought his way back up to the 7th position. Matt Crafton in 8th. 9th is Tanner Gray. And Zane Smith rounds out the top 10. Stage 2 is in the books for the Clean Harbors 175.
The roar of our engines, the pump of our heartbeats, the pedal to our metal, the sparks that ignite us, the pistons that push us, the passions that drive us. From the feelings that move us to the places that pull us on the roads that unite us. With nearly 6,000 stores and over 17,000 auto centers, Napa has America's largest network of parts and care, here to keep you firing on all cylinders.
AM
AM radio provides always-on news, sports, talk, traffic, and weather reports. It also delivers vital emergency information when your community needs it most. A new bill in Congress would ensure AM radio stays in your car, because when cell and internet services are down, this free emergency service is critical. Text AM to 52886 and tell Congress to support the AM Radio for Every Vehicle Act.
Message and data rates may apply. You may receive up to 4 messages a month, and you may text stop to stop.
This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
From the Milwaukee Mile, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
Sage Fruit is a premium grower, packer, and shipper of Washington tree fruit. Apples, pears, and cherries, and it's always an exceptional eating experience, and they're grown in the beautiful Pacific Northwest. Not only is their produce healthy, but they are grown with such care and precision that you can count on each piece of fruit having exceptional flavor. High-quality fruit, exceptional flavor, healthy snacking. Make sure when you go to your local grocery store, ask for Sage Fruit. Sage Fruit, it's our first choice for quick and easy snacking.
MRN Classic Races.
Ricky Rudd wins the Budweiser at the Glen.
Covering over 50 years of NASCAR racing on the Motor Racing Network.
Here comes Junior to the bottom. Dale Earnhardt Jr. ducks one on Stewart. They bang him in 3. Earnhardt is there. They bang again in 4.
Jeff Bodine is going to lead the first lap of the Busch 500. Dale Earnhardt is going to win the Daytona 500 in his 20th try. Trying to maintain that lead as he moves off turn 2.
MRN Classic Races available on your favorite podcast platform.
Back at the Milwaukee Mile, where Stage 2 has just concluded, pit road is now open, and here come the front runners. Let's go down and check in first with Tim Canafamo.
Corey Heim slides to a stop at his pit box. In fact, he overshot his pit box. They're going to have to back him up on pit road. Corey Heim came in a little bit too far. They're still having to back him up. Now, finally, they jacked the right side of that Toyota Tundra up. Corey has been pretty happy with the handling of that race truck, but obviously this is going to cost him. Zane Smith is also in front of me. It's going to be a 4-tire stop with Sunoco fuel going in. Ty Majeski is in. No chassis adjustment for Ty Majeski. Matt Crafton also leaving pit stall as they work their way off pit road. Chris Roller.
And another issue for Grant Enfinger. Tried to stop short of his box to avoid getting boxed out, but still had to back it up. A slow stop for Grant Enfinger. 4-tire Sunoco fuel and a chassis adjustment. Carson Hocevar. His crew was lightning quick for East Motorsports on a 4-tire change in Sunoco fuel. Roger Caruth is down here. Christian Eck is plowing tight. And Ben Rhodes said, I need help through the center off of the corner. William Sawalich just needs a little air pressure adjustment. All those drivers with 4 Goodyear Eagle Sunoco fuel to take them the rest of the way. But again, an issue, a slow stop for Grant Enfinger. Carson Hocevar led him off pit road.
It will be Hocevar and Christian Eckes coming off of pit road at the front of the field. In fact, Christian Eckes is off pit road first. He picks up 2 positions. Carson Hocevar is second off the pit lane. Nick Sanchez picks up 3 spots. He circulates back out to the racetrack. The 3rd driver off pit road, Grant Enfinger, just as Chris described. He lost 3 spots in that exchange. He comes back onto the racetrack, the 4th driver off the pit lane. A couple of tough pit stops today for Grant Enfinger. We'll see if he can work his way back up to the front as we move to the final stage of the race.
Soon it will be the end of the week, and soon you will be at a NASCAR race. An entire weekend dedicated to all things big, fast, and loud. Concerts, tailgates, friends, family, and, oh yeah, racing. 75 years of it to be exact. Soon you will have the weekend that you'll wish never ended, that you'll talk about for years to come. Soon can't come soon enough. To experience a NASCAR race in person, visit NASCAR.com/tickets.
This is Steve Post. If you love sprint cars, you'll love Wing Nation. Join World of Outlaw winner Aaron Evernham and me every Tuesday at noon Eastern Time on Motor Racing Networks and Wing Nation's Facebook pages. We go live with the weekend's winners and newsmakers from around the country each and every week. You can also find the podcast of all past shows on YouTube or subscribe to the podcast on any of your favorite podcast providers. Wing Nation, all sprint cars, all the time.
Christian Eckes shows as the race leader. Carson Hocevar is now second. Nick Sanchez third, following pit stops here at the stage break. Grant Enfinger drops to 4th. Ben Rhodes moves up 6 positions and into the top 5 for the first time today. Still 60 laps to go, getting ready to start the final stage of the race in just a moment. From the Milwaukee Mile, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
Hi, I'm Calvin. You may know that Big Conjunction provides fun, adaptive, and life-changing experiences for kids with all levels of abilities, serious illnesses, and chronic medical conditions. But did you know that camp is free for the children and families we serve? Your support helps every camper build a foundation to live their best life. Make your gift today at victoryjunction.org/donate and feel your heart race.
Hi, I'm MRN lead pit reporter Steve Post. Go behind the scenes each week with me and championship-winning crew chief Todd Gordon for MRN Crew Call.
They're really strong and going to win races soon.
We'll talk to some of the biggest names standing atop the pit box. Crew chief for William Byron on that number 24 car, Rudy Fugel, as well as break down all the exciting action from the weekend in NASCAR.
The one car with 2 wins and all the top 5s he's had. Ross and Phil have done a phenomenal job.
You can download MRN Crew Call wherever you get your podcasts.
Copy.
Welcome back to West Allis, Wisconsin, where no fewer than 3 playoff drivers here at the stage break at the end of stage 2 had difficulty on pit road. Grant Enfinger, Corey Heim, Ty Majeski, all with awkward pit stops. Let's recap that action. Let's head back to Chris Wilner.
Yeah, for Grant Enfinger, Kurt Becker, it was a product of Chase Purdy coming in sideways to the pit stall ahead, and that's the second straight pit stop that they've had trouble getting around Chase Purdy. Grant Enfinger actually came on the radio prior to the pit stop saying, I'm going to stop short as I have a clean pit stall into his pit box and also angle out. But that didn't work. He still had to put it in reverse and lost a couple positions on pit road. His crew chief, Jeff Hensley, reminding him to calm down. This truck is set up for the long run. So this could be the most green flag laps we'll have on this final run to the finish. So all is well in the 23 pit, although Grant Enfinger not happy with the way these pit stops have gone with the pit stall ahead. Tim Califano, what about you?
Well, we had 2 issues here on my end of pit road. First off, Corey Heim, as I mentioned, overshot his pit box. He didn't realize he was over the line. They had to back him up. When they backed Corey Heim up on pit road, they got him in the way of the Ty Majeski machine, which impacted Majeski trying to leave his pit box. So Corey Heim overshot his pit box. When he backed up into the Majeski pit. Majeski then had a little bit difficult time getting out of his pit box. So issues for both of those 2 playoff drivers the last trip down pit road.
The field is making their way to the Geico Restart Zone, presented by Geico. Switch to Geico today and see all the ways you can save. It's easy. Simply go to geico.com to get a rate quote and get started seeing how much you can save.
Getting ready for the restart indeed, and here's Christian Eckes, the race leader on the choose. He takes the outside lane. Carson Hocevar to the inside. Nick Sanchez lines up behind Eckes. Enfinger behind Hocevar. Green flag is in the air. We're back underway. 57 laps to go. The lead battle goes to turn 2.
Some new names toward the front of the field, and off of turn 2, a new leader goes to the point. Carson Hocevar takes the top spot away from Christian Eckes in second. Nick Sanchez in third, but here comes Grant Enfinger looking inside and out to take that position away as Enfinger's on the rebound.
Carson Hocevar was off like a shot down the back straightaway, but now Christian Eckes in second, starting to keep him honest. Nick Sanchez slots into that third position, and there's been about 3-truck breakaway up at the front.
Top 3 are able to get away from the ongoing battle for fourth. Grant Enfinger has that position. Here comes Ben Rhodes. Rhodes in turn has Tanner Gray to his right elbow up the back straightaway in a race for fifth. At the point, it's still Carson Hocevar by a truck length.
Ben Rhodes is currently 6 points above the cut line for the playoff grid. Matt Crafton 6 points below. They are separated by just 2 positions on the racetrack. Rhodes is in 5th. Crafton's in 7th. Everybody in the lead pack of traffic heads back to turn 2.
Ty Majeski goes way wide in turn number 1. Will give up about 3, maybe 4 spots as Williams and Wallich goes to his inside. Matt Crafton was one of those trucks that went to the bottom as Crafton's climbed to the top. Toward the top anyway, continues as he goes to the inside of Corey Heim.
Majeski absolutely surrounded by traffic that is outside.
By the way, again, guys, thank y'all so much for stopping by. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. That way you don't miss out on these.
Maybe half.
I mean, guys, just hit it. I mean, come on.
Slides wide off the turn 2.
Carson Hocevar hangs on to the race lead off of turn number 2, only by a truck length over Christian Eckes in second. Nick Sanchez keeping both of those trucks within arm's reach in third, and all three have surprisingly been able to drive away from the winner of the opening 2 stages in Grant Enfinger in fourth.
Then you've got another gap of 7 truck lengths or so back to Ben Rhodes in 5th. He's got company. Tanner Gray closes in behind him from 6th. And then the battle for 7th. Corey Heim to the outside, Matt Crafton to the inside over to turn 2.
Matt Crafton has been very comfortable.
Subscribe. Just, guys, just do it, please. Hey, guys, it's not hard to get your stubby little fingers and hit the button. It's right there in front of you.
Number 3, within a half truck length of Corey Heim for 7th.
When the leaders come up the front stretch, you think that Christian Eckes is going to make a move on Carson Hocevar. But when they hit that turn, Hocevar sliding that tail just a little bit in the earth, puts just a little bit of distance between himself and Eckes, while Nick Sanchez looks on from third.
Just enough for Hocevar to drive away by a couple of truck lengths off of turn number 2 on Christian Eckes in second. Few more back to Nick Sanchez in third, who in turn is closing just a bit on the lead duo and in driving away from Grant Enfinger.
Enfinger sits in the 4th position, coming back off corner number 4 as the caution flag has just come out. We go into the caution for the 5th time here this afternoon. A problem for Spencer Boyd. Kyle?
Yeah, off of turn number 2, Spencer Boyd, the final truck to drive away from the scene of the incident, happened at the tail end of the field. There was a second truck involved that also pulled away. We believe that truck is Josh Rayum. Minimal, if any, damage after those 2 trucks tangled off of turn number 2.
So we are under caution for the 5th time in the Clean Harbors 175.
For 75 years, NASCAR has been making history.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. comes back to the Daytona International Speedway, leading the pack, coming to the line. He will win the Pepsi 400.
Catch the next iconic moment as we celebrate 75 years of NASCAR all season long.
Chastain did a video game move, drove it and never lifted.
Right here on the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
It all builds up to this at Darlington Raceway.
If you're going to kick off the playoffs, why not do it big?
Green flag is up.
Like Labor Day weekend big.
That's how you make a move. And a round goes through it.
Like Southern 500 big. The only thing bigger than the action will be the experience of seeing it live. NASCAR Playoffs Weekend at Darlington Raceway, September 2nd and 3rd. Get your tickets today at darlingtonraceway.com. Discover South Carolina.
Both Spencer Boyd and Josh Rayum were able to pull away from the incident off of turn 2, so this should be a pretty quick caution. From the Milwaukee Mile, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
NASCAR's next generation of stars driving the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series.
And here they come. Zane Smith now will try to advance his way to the lead.
Catch the excitement of every race right here.
NASCAR has made it official. Zane Smith is a back-to-back winner at the Daytona International Speedway in the opener.
On the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
On your ride home, catch NASCAR today to keep up with the latest.
Just to think, I'm the Daytona 500 winner. I would have never dreamed it.
Every weekday, you'll hear the top news stories in the sport.
It's just an opportunity of a lifetime for me that I had to take.
Plus insights from your favorite drivers.
Can't thank Penske enough and everybody, involved for sticking with me and believing in me. I'm Chase Elliott. Listen to NASCAR Today every weekday right here on the Motor Racing Network.
Still under caution here at the Milwaukee Mile. Carson Hocevar is our leader. Christian Eckes, Nick Sanchez, Grant Enfinger, and Ben Rhodes rounds out our top 5.
Let's check and see who is having a good race at this point in the event, presented by Craftsman. This point being with 49 laps to go. To celebrate the return of Craftsman to the NASCAR Truck Series, Craftsman is offering special discounts to fans. Take advantage of the current deal of the race. Go to craftsman.com. See craftsman.com/deal of the race for details. Chris Wilner, we're going to come to you. Who's having a good race at this point?
Well, clearly it's the drivers that are up front, including Carson Hocevar as well as Nick Sanchez, who we documented earlier maybe had some ill handling issues with a tight race truck, but he came over the radio right under that caution and said, guys, we hit the nail on the head. I think I found the setup. Just give me a good green flag run. So that's what he's hoping is going to happen on this ensuing restart. And for Ben Rhodes, you guys were talking about the deficit he was going to have on the cut line after losing so many positions in the midway point of this race. They too feel like they turned a corner, throwing a big track bar adjustment on that last pit stop. Brian Ross came over the radio and said, lap times look good, Ben. We just need a good day. Remember, he has not had a top 10 the last few weeks, so he's trying to get back on the horse here in the playoffs and go to Kansas without a big deficit. So a couple happy drivers finally finding the bounce of the race car. Again, a lot of laps still to go here at Milwaukee to chase your leader, Carson Hocevar.
Carson Hocevar is our leader with Christian Eckes in second. They were having a good battle, I will say. So too was Nick Sanchez and Grant Enfinger. So too was Ben Rhodes and Tanner Gray. Now, Ty Majeski, we have documented his up and down day. Of course, he had to serve the drive-through penalty right at the beginning, worked his way up into the inside of the top 10, then had a problem with the jack on pit road, lost all kinds of positions. I believe he restarted outside the top 20, has worked his way back up to the 11th spot. However, it seems that he has stalled at that, not able to crack the top 10. Perhaps something off on the truck. Majeski hasn't been as competitive as he was in the early going because he did have a very quick truck.
That's why that victory of his at Indianapolis Raceway Park was such a key to kick off the playoffs, because at least he knows he's good to go. He has already advanced to the round of 8. Field has got the signal. One more lap will put him back under the green flag. The field is making its way to the Geico zone presented by Geico. Switch to Geico today and see all the ways you could save. It's easy. Simply go to geico.com to get a rate quote and get started seeing how much you could save.
Kyle Rickey, Carson Hocevar, and Christian Eckes is going to bring him to the stripe. How do you see this one playing out?
Yeah, I like Carson Hocevar right now in the outside lane. That truck is strong. It's come to life here since the start of this stage. It'll be interesting to see what Grant Enfinger can do. Starting in the third spot, second truck in line on the inside as the field looks for the green flag this time by.
Here they come off corner number 4. The pace truck makes the left-hand turn and heads to pit road. That leaves the field in the hands of Carson Hocevar in that outside lane. Nick Sanchez getting ready to give him a shove. Christian Eckes there to the inside. Green flag is in the air. We are back underway. The lead battle side by side heads over to turn 2.
Carson Hocevar, top side of the racetrack, is able to take the race lead away off of turn number 2. Top 3 breakaway because Grant Enfinger slipped just a bit off of turn number 2. Bottled everybody up behind him, but he's okay as it continues to be Hocevar at the point off turn 4.
Tightly packed racing among the top 3. Carson Hocevar brings the field off of turn 4. Puts a little bit of distance between himself and Christian Eckes, and that's because Eckes has to deal with Nick Sanchez, who says his truck feels very, very good right now. Sanchez will take away second from Christian Eckes.
What a run for Nick Sanchez to the end of the front straightaway. Was able to get to the inside and get that second spot away as they race up the back straightaway. Eckes in line in third. Grant Enfinger once again in fourth and getting it wound up in the outside lane, trying to take the third spot away from Christian Eckes.
Here is Enfinger. He started that climb toward the outside, ran out of racetrack, had the lift. Now he squares up directly behind Christian Eckes. Back to turn number 1. He runs about a half lane higher than Eckes. Still behind him, though, in that battle for third.
Eckes in third, Enfinger in fourth, and goes a bit too high off of turn number 2 and has Derek Kraus looking at his inside for position number 4. It's going to be Enfinger in fourth. Kraus to the bottom in fifth. Also a big moment a lap ago for Ben Rhodes. Nearly lost that truck off of turn number 4 while being passed by Matt Crafton truck a lap ago.
Haven't talked about Derek Kraus all afternoon, but now he runs in the top 5 and is threatening to take away the 4th position from Grant Enfinger. He's awfully close off of turn 2.
Comes Derek Kraus off of turn number 2, positioning himself within one truck like the Grant Enfinger in 4th. Kraus in 5th. Corey Heim, a not too distant 6th. This time by, they'll all stay single file for positions among the top 5.
Derek Kraus in a NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series machine for the first time since the season opener at Daytona in February. Into the top 5. He wants 4 as he closes in behind Enfinger.
Driving for Spire Motorsports, giving that truck a great run here today, and looks to the inside of the opening two-stage winner of this event in Grant Enfinger. Enfinger still maintains that spot by a truck length over Derek Krause. Corey Heim and Matt Crafton both closing in.
21-year-old Derek Krause, yet another Wisconsin native, competing here this afternoon at the Milwaukee Mile, trying to impress his family and friends who are indeed watching here in the stands. Now Krause looks to the inside of Enfinger, almost draws up alongside the fourth place man.
Enfinger a bit stronger though in the outside lane. One truck breaks loose further back. It's Williams-Walich up and into the outside wall for William. Lost it all by himself while challenging for a position of the inside of the racetrack. The long slide to the outside safer barrier and a lot of right rear damage for Williams-Walich, who pulls away from the scene of the incident in turn 2.
Gone under the caution flag, Dan, for the 6th time here today. A lot of damage to the back end of the truck. He had been running in the 10th position. Kyle, we talked about the spectacular day Walich had going back to his win in the ARCA Menard Series, but things just went awry right here.
Driving for Tricon Garage here and had that big win earlier today in the ARCA Menard Series. Had so much confidence, running among the top 5, was in that pack of traffic that we were talking about from about 7th or 8th spot on back. Well, I looked up and I saw that truck just snap around on him as he was to the inside of a, looked like another truck to his right side in turn number 1. Truck broke loose and unfortunately carried him to the outside safer wall.
The bed of the truck is bent up a little bit. We're talking about Williams-Walich, and there's some damage to the left rear quarter panel. Tire smoking just ever so slightly. They'll probably be able to straighten some of that out, but I don't think the Williams-Walich truck, the Tricon Garage entry, will be as competitive as it has been all afternoon.
And it's been a tough last several laps here for the folks from Tricon Garage. Corey Heim, he had led several laps in stage number 2, but then developed some handling problems. He's still very much in contention. Don't want to exaggerate the situation, but he's dropped back in the 6th position. He'd fallen back about 3 or 4 seconds behind the race leader once we had gone back under the green flag. And now Williams-Walich, also driving for Tricon Garage, his troubles more pronounced, getting loose, and as Kyle described, tagging the outside wall over in turn 1. Let's check in with Chris Wilner.
And Williams-Walich comes to the attention of his Tricon crew as they go to work on the right side of the race truck. Again, you guys pointed out the heavy damage to the rear end of that Toyota Tundra. Now they're going to go ahead and change tires. They're going to make sure the clearance is free from the right rear tire as well. Some of the fender damage, we already have the Bear Bond, the sticky tape that's about to go onto the rear to keep that deck lid from flapping up. They may try to pull some of the fenders out as well, but oh man, such a tough break for how good he was running, your ARCA Menard Series winner, and of course he's had 3 top 10s in 4 Truck Series start, including that 6th place finish at IRP, but it looks like he's not going to sweep the afternoon, although they are going to try to get William back out to complete this race, but significant rear damage. I even see on the left rear side as well, it's kind of caved in on the left rear tire. So more work to be done here on Williams-Walich. Tim Califano, what's going on your end?
Matt Crafton is in. Now, he just came on the radio a moment ago, did Matt Crafton, said it's a little tight on entry, but the truck is starting to come to him. He's in his pit box right now. They have switched tires on the right side of the truck. They're putting left side tires on his Ford F-150. Sunoco fuel going in. He's down and away.
And Tim, we've got pit stops here. The call was if you saw the leaders come in, everyone else is in. Nick Sanchez already waiting on fuel is down and away with a 4-tire stop. You also have Ben Rhodes is in on my end. Connor Jones, Williams-Walich we mentioned, as well as Grant Enfinger is down and away, although they'll lose a spot on pit road.
So as the field continues to work around, let's document the fact as the leaders behind the pace truck at the end of the backstretch headed to turn 3, Carson Hocevar elected to stay on the race track. So did Derek Krause, and so did Tanner Gray. None of those 3 came to pit road. They all stayed on the racetrack. Talked about Ben Rhodes today, one of the playoff drivers. He's had one of those
R2D2
in the top 10. He had finally said a moment ago, just a few laps ago, he had radioed his crew and said, I think finally have hit on the setup that we need. Regrettably for Ben Rhodes,
R2D2.
he was caught speeding on the pit lane. So as a result, he thing for sure. You might be a playoff driver, and you might be someone that's very accomplished. He's a former series champion. It doesn't mean that you're immune from mistakes and penalties.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a tough day for Ben Rhodes, as you said. He started the day only 4 points above the cut line. He needed a good afternoon here. He looked competitive, running in the top 10, but mistakes. Mistakes are always the thing that bite you during the playoffs. So Carson Hocevar, who stayed out, is still our leader. Derek Kraus now moves up to the 2nd spot with Tanner Gray in 3rd. Tyler Ankrum, he stayed out. He moves up to that 4th position. And how about Sean Hingorani, the ARCA Menard Series driver, who did double duty here this afternoon, and he now rides in that 5th position. Let's check in with Chris Wilner for an update on Carson Hocevar.
Well, you guys pointed out, why did he stay out when so many trucks came in? Well, I just talked to Phil Gold, his crew chief. He said, I didn't expect that many trucks behind us to come in with us staying out. I heard over the radio with Nick Sanchez if the 42 pits will pit, but the 42 did not pit. And there goes Nick Sanchez and the rest of the field. So, unfortunately for Carson Hocevar, his bet's kind of made. Right now, they're just hoping to see if they can hang on with those trucks behind him on much fresher tires. Tim?
Well, updating Zane Smith, he has been struggling with the handling of his race truck this afternoon. He's been looking for a little bit more drive off.
Where the fuck did Haley Deegan come from? She's in 7th.
Wrong.
What in the hell? Am I high?
Road, so certainly not what they want for Zane's.
Subscribe if you want to see a woman win. I don't know.
The top 10 for the majority of the second half of this race, so they went the wrong way on the adjustments for Zane Smith last time down pit road.
So on this restart, here's how it's going to play out. The very quick trucks of Christian Eckes, Nick Sanchez, and Corey Heim, they are going to restart from the 8th, 9th, and 10th position. Should make short work of the trucks that are in front of them. Look for them to get back to the front soon. Matt Crafton will restart from the 11th spot. Now, Grant Enfinger, who has been running among the top 5 all afternoon, will restart from 14th. It's a tough break there for Grant. He's got his work cut out for him as we have now 36 laps remaining in the Cleveland Harbors 175. Green flag is in the air. We're back underway. And on the jump, it is Carson Hocevar just to the outside of Derek Kraus. Now they're side by side off turn 2.
Nearly 4 wide further back as Haley Deegan backslides as one of the trucks that stayed out.
Oh, what the hell?
Nick Sanchez into the outside wall off turn 2. Further up, it's Carson Hocevar battling now for the second spot. Tanner Gray as now one truck goes around, and it's Sanchez over in turn number 4. Backs it into the outside wall. May have had contact with Corey Heim, who appears off the pace on the front straightaway.
As a result, we go into the caution for the 7th time here today in the Clean Harbors 175. We had just talked about the fact that it doesn't matter if you're in the playoffs or not in the playoffs. It's amazing how quickly circumstances can change. Here's Nick Sanchez, rookie driver, who's part of the playoff picture. He's had such a good run today. He has spent so much of the day racing in and around the top 5. In a big pack of traffic, Kyle, he goes off the end of the backstretch toward the outside in turn number 3, and the next thing he knows, he's turned around the wrong way up against the outside wall.
Yeah, we talked about the first 7 trucks staying out on the racetrack. One of those trucks, Haley Deegan, restarting to the inside of that lane, going off of turn number 2. She fell off the pace just a bit, being swallowed by some of those faster trucks like a Matt Crafton, and also the truck of Christian Eckes went to her inside. Deegan lifted just a bit. Nick Sanchez was stuck behind her, and then they fanned out 4 wide up the backstretch. By the time they got to turn number 3, they ran out of room.
And as a result of this incident, Nick Sanchez is now being shown as only 8 points above the playoff cutoff line.
Hey, this is Mike Backley. Join me along with the cast and crew of the Motor Racing Network every Tuesday night for NASCAR Live. Hear exclusive interviews.
Waking up, coming back to Victory Lane, doing media spot. That's kind of when it really sunk in that, hey, we accomplished something great.
The best moments from each of NASCAR's premier series.
Chastain did a video game move, drove it, and never lifted.
As well as break down the upcoming race weekend and more. It's NASCAR Live every Tuesday night at 7 Eastern.
Looking for motorsports coverage you can't find anywhere else? Look no further than the Motor Racing Network's lineup of weekly podcasts. NASCAR news and interviews on NASCAR Live and NASCAR Live Wide Open. NASCAR Cup Series Insight on Crew Call. NASCAR Grassroots Racing News and Talk on NASCAR Coast to Coast. And Sprint Car Talk on Wing Nation. All these and more available on podcast platforms and MRN.com.
From the Milwaukee Mile, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
Hi, I'm Ryan Blaney, a third-generation race car driver. And we dedicate a lot of our time to going as fast as possible. My grandpa Lou is the reason why my dad and I started racing, and I'm really proud to follow in his tracks. But when my grandpa was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, it was a very unexpected bump in the road for us. I've learned a lot on this journey with my grandpa Lou, and the memories of my grandpa will always be with me. It's important to notice if older family members are acting differently, experiencing problems with their memory, or having trouble with routine tasks. Talking about Alzheimer's can be really tough, but if you notice something, have a conversation with your loved one. Encourage them to see a doctor or offer to go with them. Early detection of Alzheimer's can give your family time to explore support services, make a plan for the future, and access available treatments. The Alzheimer's Association provides care, support, and research to help you take control of the situation with your family and manage the disease together. If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together. Visit alz.org/time-to-talk. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Nick Sanchez just made a quick stop on pit road. We'll update you in a moment, but first let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Motor Racing Network. Welcome back to the Motor Racing Network's coverage of the Clear Harbors 175. I'm Dan Hubbard. Alongside is Kurt Becker down on pit road. We've got Chris Wilner and Tim Catafalmo with Kyle Rickey covering the action for us in turns 3 and 4. We are under caution for the 7th time due to a spin by Nick Sanchez. He did have some help, and now he's making a second visit to pit road. What's the story, Chris Wilner?
Yeah, well, they had significant left side damage on that Chevrolet for Nick Sanchez, so they brought him down pit road, but unfortunately he had already made a trip down when the pits were closed. So this second pit stop, he had to come back through after pitting under a closed pit. But that first time by, they fixed the damage, or at least attempted to side, trying to get some of that fender rub on the tires pulled off. They changed 4 tires. Now they addressed some of that damage as well on the second time by. But Nick Sanchez very unhappy on the radio with some of the racing drivers around him, including Corey Heim and Haley Deegan.
That was one of the loudest burps I've ever had. I'm sorry.
Cannot make mistakes and be caught in situations, and right now they find themselves behind the 8 ball as we get ready to go to Kansas.
Tim Catafalmo, Corey Heim was a front runner. Now he's being shown in the 11th position. What's the story?
Well, they have a little bit of left front headlight damage on the Corey Heim truck as a result of that contact with Nick Sanchez. Now, under this caution flag, Corey and the crew were talking about whether or not the left front splitter is dragging on the racetrack. There was a little bit of damage, like I said, the left front headlight area, but they're trying to figure out how much damage has been done to the left front splitter. They believe it might be dragging just a little bit on the Corey Heim truck, so we'll keep our eyes on that. Corey, again, right now is listed outside of the top 10 on the running order.
So now, Kurt Becker, with 30 laps remaining in the Clean Harbors 175, Corey Heim has trouble. Nick Sanchez has trouble. William Sawalich has trouble. These were all guys who ran in the top 5, 6, or 7. And as we get down to it, they're experiencing some problems here at the Milwaukee Mile.
Well, you know, somebody who's avoided trouble today is Derek Kraus. Again, making only his second start of the year in this NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. He's been working with Colleague Racing. He's made a few starts for them in the NASCAR Xfinity Series. That Wisconsin native Derek Kraus said recently he's been doing a lot of sim work for Colleague Racing. He said, it's not like I've not been doing anything when I've not been at the track. Chris Wilner, when Derek Kraus says he's been busy with sim work for Colleague in the Xfinity Series, what does that mean?
Well, Kurt, with a lot of these manufacturers, Chevrolet, Toyota, and Ford, they each have their own simulator that replicates each racetrack down to the nitty-gritty, down to how the truck or car feels when it goes to the corners. It's not exactly a video game. There's a lot lot more to it. These high-dollar machines are offered to drivers in those different OEM camps, and for Derek Kraus, having that relationship with Colleague Racing allows him to use that technology. So that's another leg up some of these drivers that have these relationships with manufacturers can do. And again, these are not video games by any means. iRacing is certainly a tool, but for the manufacturer sims, it has the real-life field, and these drivers are in a
Here we go, green flag.
replica race car and are able to feel the racetrack, and obviously that pays dividends with the technology that we have and how these guys react.
Crowd comes to their feet as the green flag once again flies, and their field makes their way into turns 1 and 2. It is Carson Hocevar feeling a challenge from Tanner Gray.
Tanner Gray to the inside, Carson Hocevar to the outside lane, side by side for the lead, 3 and 4 wide. Further back, here comes Matt Crafton once again, racing toward the front of the field, just outside of the top 5, but leading the charge into turn number 3 is Carson Hocevar.
Hocevar the leader. They're double wide for second. They're double wide for fourth. They were 3 wide further back near the tail end of the top 10. Here comes the challenge now for second. Tanner Gray tries to work his way to the inside of Derek Kraus.
Derek Kraus strong in the outside lane, up to position number 2. Now here comes Christian Eckes to the inside of Tanner Gray, to the outside of Eckes. Former race leader of this event, Grant Enfinger, working his way into the top 5, and now plants that truck to the extreme outside lane, 3 wide from 5th to 3rd by the time they get to the front stretch.
The scramble is on at Milwaukee. Everybody driving harder and attacking the corners at both ends of the track. Hocevar still has the lead, narrowly so over Derek Kraus, and they're side by side for the 3rd spot.
Grant Enfinger, a man on a mission right now, up to the 3rd spot and wanting more, was able to clear Christian Eckes a half a lap ago, and now begin to close the gap on Derek Kraus for 2nd.
Grant Enfinger works his way through the middle lanes of turns 3 and 4. Here he comes now back off the corner, still finds himself in 3rd for now. He checks the rearview mirror. There's Christian Eckes right behind him. How about Matt Crafton working his way into the top 5 for the first time this afternoon?
And still on the bottom of the racetrack to the exit of turn number 2 for Matt Crafton, as something's working right for him to the inside. Sean Hingorani out of shape further back. Gets caught in the outside lane and will lose 5 or 6 spots up the back straightaway, just outside of the top 15, as the top 5 single out, chasing Carson Hocevar.
Corey Heim, whether he has a splitter dragging or not, is still quick enough to move into that 6th position. And behind him, here comes Tanner Gray and Ty Majeski. Majeski looking to the inside of Gray as Gray slides a little bit through turns 1 and 2.
Majeski coming to life, but still has some work to do outside of the top 6 as they exit turn number 2 and race up the back straightaway. Majeski to the bottom. Also a part of that battle, Ben Rhodes trying to make his way back up to the front of the field. Right now, all this battling outside of the top 5.
Further ahead, the battle's on for second. Here's Grant Enfinger. He makes a powerhouse move off the top of turn 4. He goes rocketing around the outside of Derek Kraus.
By far the fastest truck on the racetrack since the restart. Grant Enfinger back up to the 2nd spot. Moving around Derek Kraus in turn 2, pulling away by 3 truck lengths by the time they get to the 3rd turn, and closing in on race leader Carson Hocevar.
Eckes slides up the track through turns 3 and 4, opens the door wide for a hard charge in Matt Crafton. That's the fight for the 4th position. Eckes has got it, Crafton wants it, and he's almost up to the tailgate of Eckes into turn 2.
Christian Eckes has the 4th spot. Here comes Matt Crafton. Both of those trucks closing in on Derek Kraus, who is in 3rd and backsliding just a bit. Here comes Crafton back to the inside on Christian Eckes. Eckes slides up a bit off of turn number 2. Opened the door by the time they got to 3. Matt Crafton looking to take that spot away.
Here he comes, races up underneath the truck of Christian Eckes, trying to grab that 4th position. He does so, and now the crossover move. Here's Eckes, right back out of the line, swings from right to left, and he goes blasting by to the inside, but may have carried too much speed to the corner.
He takes the 4th spot, but only for a moment, maybe. Here comes Matt Crafton back to the bottom. Eckes up to 4th, Crafton 5th, and believe it or not, they have not lost ground on Derek Kraus in 3rd, even though they have and now they're 3 wide because here comes Crafton to the bottom of both of them. Up the back straightaway, it's going to be Eckes in turn 3 to 3rd, Crafton to 4th, Kraus back to 5th.
All of that traffic sorts itself out, and that group of 3 from 3rd on back, some 12 truck lengths behind the lead battle. Carson Hocevar is still the leader. Grant slides in second. Remember, Hocevar is on tires that are 24 laps older than the ones on which Enfinger rides, headed up the backstretch.
Here comes Grant Enfinger now to less than a truck length between himself and race leader Carson Hocevar. Will not make a move this time in turn number 3, but perhaps go a little wider, build a run off of turn number 4 and onto the front stretch.
Here comes Grant Enfinger. Because he has those new tires, he can afford to be a little bit more patient. Carson Hocevar, one eye through the windshield, one eye in the rearview mirror, and it is filled with the yellow truck of Grant Enfinger.
And they come off of turn number 2 and up the back straightaway. It's Carson Hocevar at the point, but not by much over Grant Enfinger in second. Large gap back to Christian Eckes, all alone in third. Crafton stabilized in fourth. It's a 2-truck race right now at the point.
Carson Hocevar never led today until we had reached the final stage of the race. He's been out front for the majority of the last several laps, but he's got Grant Enfinger, the driver who won stage 1 and won stage 2, breathing down his neck in turn 2.
We saw this in the last stage as well, Kurt, when Grant Enfinger got to Corey Heim. He just sat behind him, waited for a few laps, and then when the time was right, made the move. Perhaps that's exactly what he's doing right now. Grant Enfinger in the second spot and in the tire tracks of Carson Hocevar.
Now Carson Hocevar opens up the door for Grant Enfinger. Couldn't hold the bottom line through turns side by side for the top spot. Now give it to Enfinger, who slides into turns 1 and 2. He's got the lead with Hocevar in second.
Drove it into turn number 1 just a bit to Grant Enfinger. That opened the door on the bottom for Carson Hocevar to pull back from alongside. And they are nose to nose up the back straightaway into turn 3. Enfinger topside. Hocevar to the bottom. It's Grant Enfinger that's able to clear Hocevar for the top.
By a couple of truck lengths over Carson Hocevar. His blue and black machine is still there in second, though. 15 laps to go.
Losing a bit of ground, though, is Carson Hocevar. This time up the back straightaway, about 3 truck lengths between the top 2. No challenge of losing that second spot right now. Put the gap back to Christian Eckes in third.
Meanwhile, Corey Heim takes up the challenge for that 5th position against Derek Kraus. Side by side into turns 3 and 4 as they come off the corner, give the advantage and the 5th spot to Corey Heim. He gets around Derek Kraus, who now slides back just a little bit, and there's a great battle going on behind them. That's where you'll find Ty Majeski and Chase Purdy into turn 2.
Chase Purdy to the inside, Ty Majeski to the outside lane. This is the battle for the 7th spot, and it's side by side with Majeski getting the advantage off of turn number 2, using the outside lane of the racetrack to give him momentum up the back straightaway to take that spot away from Purdy.
Now they work back off turn number 4, and this time by, it'll be 13 laps to go. Grant Enfinger with the race lead. Carson.
Time shaking Carson Hocevar is right there with him within just a couple of feet of the top spot. Christian Eckes still in distant third, but is also closing as well, so he can make this a 3-way battle for the race win before this one is all said and done.
Right now, Carson Hocevar is absolutely excellent upon entry of the corner. I thought Grant Enfinger, too, was going to pull away. That's not the case. Hocevar now only 3.5 truck lengths behind Grant Enfinger. Again, when they go into the corner, Hocevar able to close the gap.
Grant Enfinger maintains the race lead, this time by about 5 truck lengths over Carson Hocevar in the second spot. No real change for the race lead. Best battle into the second half of the top 10. Ty Majeski, who moved around Chase Purdy a few laps ago, opened the door, and here comes Purdy back to the inside for the 7th spot. Those two, once again, are side by side.
They stay that way. Coming up off the bottom of turn number 4, Ty Majeski versus Chase Purdy. The ongoing battle for 7th. You've got Majeski to the outside. Chase Purdy occupies the bottom lane of the racetrack all the way around to turn 2.
And about a full straightaway behind the race leader, Grant Enfinger, who is already in turn number 3. Battle for 7th, still locked up nose to nose with Chase Purdy truck to the inside, Ty Majeski to the outside, and for the second time by, they are door to door.
Good fight for that 4th spot has developed as Corey Heim has caught Matt Crafton. They crossed the stripe, nose to tail. Heim took a brief look down the outside.
Looking to the outside off of turn number 2, has a run built in that outside lane. Crafton still on the bottom, and it may cost him a position here. Into turn number 3 they come, and it's going to be high by a half a truck length over Matt Crafton, who backslides to 5th.
They work their way back through the middle of turn number 4. Crafton actually down to the bottom side of the racetrack as Hines stays to the high side. Now Crafton's not finished yet. Here comes Matt. He's back down to the bottom lane, tries to anchor the truck there, trying to regain the 4th position.
We talked a few laps ago, Matt Crafton, one of the only trucks that has had good success on the inside of the speedway, and that's where he runs this time. And during this battle with Corey Hines, Corey, just a bit stronger topside, is able to take that spot away for now.
Meanwhile, up the front, just when you think Grant Enfinger has sealed the deal when they hit the corners, man, Carson Hocevar is actually a threat. But again, up the front straightaway, now Grant Enfinger truly pulls away by some 8 truck lengths. Hocevar in 2nd, Christian Eckes in that 3rd position.
Carson Hocevar a bit stronger on entry into turn 1 and over here in turn number 3 the last several laps, but where Enfinger is able to open it up is to the exit of turn 2 and up the back straightaway, and even more so to the exit of turn 4 on the track.
Matt Crafton riding back in that 5th position as things stand right now. He is 9 points above the cut line on that playoff grid. At times today, he was double-digit below the cut line. So if things end right here, got to think Matt Crafton would walk away from Milwaukee feeling pretty good about the day, Kyle.
Right now, a great run for Matt Crafton. Didn't look all that promising in the first stage of this race. They tweaked on that truck all afternoon long, and it's paying off for Matt. The most veteran driver in the field right now in the 5th position. Trying to close in on the truck in front of him. That is Corey Hines. Still about 4 truck lengths between those two.
And you can truly say that Ty Majeski has had an up and down day, has had to fight his way through the entire field twice this afternoon at the Milwaukee Mile. Right now he rides in that 7th position, but he's got a lot of company with Chase Purdy right behind him and Derek Kraus up ahead.
Cannot shake Chase Purdy at all. Talking about Ty Majeski, and once again off of turn number 2, Purdy had a good run. Majeski stronger in the outside lane. Both of those trucks are closing in on Derek Kraus, who leads that battle for position from 7th, 8th, and 9th in turn 3.
Starter Rich Peter leads across the flag stand, shows 5 fingers to race leader Grant Enfinger. 5 laps to go. Let's have a look at the leaderboard presented by Skechers. Skechers, the comfort and fit specialist. Try Skechers. Relaxed fit, wide fit, stretch fit, arch fit, and many more.
Grant Enfinger continues to lead. Carson Hocevar is in 2nd. Christian Eckes 3rd. Corey Hines is in 4th. Matt Crafton rides in the 5th spot. Derek Kraus in 6th. Ty Majeski now in 7th with Chase Purdy 8th. 9th is Jake Garcia with Tanner Gray rounding out the top 10.
Field comes across the line. Grant Enfinger showing the way. He continues to open up here. Works his way around.
To all the people in here, again, if you haven't already, make sure and subscribe to the channel. That way you don't miss out on these types of streams. I do them every single weekend. Trust me, I do. There's proof. If you don't believe me, go right ahead. That's fine. But guys, I'm serious. If you don't want to miss out on these types of races, I stream every weekend, so I would consider subscribing. It's pretty self-explanatory.
Falling back and perhaps into the clutches of Christian Eckes. That's the fight for...
No, but seriously, though, thank you guys for stopping by. Seriously, it means a lot.
The inside, nothing doing there. For the moment, Carson Hocevar able to hang on to the
Coming to the line. 3 laps to go.
But you're right, Christian Eckes has closed in these last few laps in the 3rd position and just waiting to make a move on Hocevar for the runner-up spot.
The leader, Grant Enfinger, comes off of corner number 4. It'll be 2 laps to go, this time by his lead. It grows to nearly a 1.5 seconds over Carson Hocevar in turn 2.
Free and clear of lap traffic for Grant Enfinger as we continue to watch the ongoing battle for 2nd. Just behind him, Carson Hocevar has it. And then it's going to be the 3rd place truck of Christian Eckes right there within 1 truck length of taking that 2nd spot away.
There is some heavy traffic up ahead for Grant Enfinger. He's just going to have to be mindful of as he comes off of turn 4.
All right, 1 lap to go.
And he sees the white flag. He is 1 mile away from winning at the Milwaukee Mile. Grant Enfinger, a clear leader off of turn 2.
Looking to win this one in dominant fashion, winning stage 1, winning stage 2, and looking to win the race here up the back straightaway for the final time. That lap traffic should not be a factor. It's Grant Enfinger all by himself in the front of the field here in Milwaukee.
Grant Enfinger off quarter number 4 is looking for the check.
Coming out of turn number 4, Grant Enfinger is going to win at Milwaukee.
Grant Enfinger is on his way as he wins at Milwaukee. Across the line, it was Carson Hosefar in second, Christian Eckes third, Corey Heim fourth, Matt Crafton completes the top 5 as we go to pit road.
And the GMS crew is celebrating. High fives all around. Crew chief Jeff Hensley. Jeff, it wasn't easy today, especially when it came down to pit stops, but what was the confidence in your driver to drive through the field like he did there on that final run with fresh tires?
I mean, Grant just does a really, really good job on these over-out racetracks, and, you know, our truck was pretty decent today. Clean air meant everything, and, you know, we came here with nothing to lose. I mean, we scored every point we could score today, so that's what we had to do. These guys have worked their souls out this year on this deal. And this is for Mike Bean. I know he didn't want to shut this deal down, believe me. And this is for him. And everybody at GMS, Maury, Ron, all the guys there, everything we need to do this. But this is really, really special.
Soak it in, Jeff. Congratulations. Tears in his eyes. Jeff Hensley, the winning crew chief for Grant Enfinger. GMS going to victory lane here in Milwaukee.
GMS announced earlier this week that they were closing its doors at the end of the season, hence the emotion that you heard on pit road. Grant Enfinger punches his ticket into the round of 8.
Wing Nation TV, presented by Sage Fruit, is your go-to destination for all the latest sprint car news and interviews with the stars of sprint car racing from around the country. This is Steve Post. Join Ashley Strummy and me each Friday at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time on NAV TV. In Canada, check us out Wednesdays at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time.
All right, that's going to do it here, guys. Thank you so much for coming in here. Please keep up with the support. Jeez. All right. But anyway, guys, thanks so much for stopping by. Love y'all, guys. Have a good afternoon. Stay safe. And I guess I'll see y'all next weekend, I guess. Or maybe a video during the week. I don't know. We'll have to see. But anyway, guys, thank you guys so much for stopping by. Love you guys. See ya. And yeah, I'll see y'all next weekend. Bye-bye. Have a good afternoon and night, whatever, wherever the hell you live. All right. Bye-bye.